Whatever you love, we've got it on Discovery Plus. Here comes chaos! Love adventure? Real big stuff coming. Love something wild? All the networks you're passionate about. All the personalities you love. That's an explosion. All in one place. Discovery Plus. Spectacular. Stream what you love. Shall I put her in snow mode? Nope. What about off-road mode?
Nah.
Sport mode it is. See what this baby can do.
Or we could check out that farmer's market.
You know what? I'll be in chill mode. If anyone needs me.
Co-pilot assist with Navilink. Available on the all-new Nissan Rogue.
Box of townhouse crackers, I'm craving adventure.
With me, the possibilities are endless. Hot buffalo, spicy queso, frosted.
You do can't fit with everything.
I know.
Anything can be a dip with Townhouse.
Here's to the experiences we create. The moments we share. Wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments. Discover the Deep Clean Persil Discs. They remove not only visible stains, but even invisible dirt. For a true deep clean. Try Persil Discs.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Yeah, right. Pepperoni pockets, an atomic brownie, cuckoo crusty.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side order. You're the man.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start with all the moms in the world. Narrow it to all the karate moms in desperate need of brown sugar. Meaning you're the one we made my Walgreens for. This pickup in as little as 30 minutes. Hi-ya! Get 30-minute pickup at Walgreens.com.
You look like a flower. Every way.
This is what it looks like when Dave spots you $75. There's no interest and no credit check because Dave knows a little extra cash can go a long way. So don't wait. Download Dave now for your exam.
I will never forget the look on her face. It was just breathtaking. I was looking for a Christmas gift for my grandmother, and I stumbled upon Storyworth, and it changed our lives completely. The questions Storyworth sent us were questions that I didn't even know I needed to ask. We were able to uncover things that she hadn't told anyone else in the family.
Give someone you love Storyworth. The perfect last-minute gift with instant delivery.
This season, a new batch of bakers.
Your parents are watching.
No pressure.
Oh my god.
Season premiere, Kids Baking Championship. Monday at 9 on Food Network.
If you were to describe this case, how would you describe it?
A nightmare?
Was a crime committed, and then can we prove it?
Stuck my head in and saw her dead with the knife protruding through her chest.
What was it that you felt walking in there?
Could have been my daughter.
He's a psychopath.
This is all hands on deck case.
True Conviction with Anna Nicolozzi. All new season premieres Wednesday at 11 on ID.
In 2005, Detective Williams tracks Lamborghini down in Ohio, where he works at the Ford plant.
At that time, he denied any involvement in child killing, admitted that, yes, he's a pedophile, likes young boys, lived in Detroit in the 70s.
The 64-year-old even agrees to take a polygraph. After 30 years and hundreds of cops chasing thousands of leads, Detective Williams isn't holding his breath. Would this be any different?
This case has been a roller coaster ride from day one, as far as, you get excited about a lead, you follow it through till it's exhausting.
When the polygraph results come in, Lamborghini has failed it so miserably that the cops may crack the case that's eluded them for so long.
Hey, Ted, can you tell me why the police and the FBI are interested in you?
No.
News of a new player in the almost 30-year-old unsolved case leaks out to the media.
You know anything about those murders? Can you tell me why you flunked the polygraph? Scared?
But a failed polygraph is not enough to arrest Ted Lamborghini.
Just going
I don't know anything at all. Why would they bother to come down and talk to me? That's what I don't understand.
He's the most promising lead in decades. The task force begins tracking down some of his pedophilia victims from the 70s. It might give them the leverage they need for a confession.
The victims that I interviewed of Lamborghini, most of them were either taken on trips, groomed with drugs or alcohol, offered money. One of the victims was as young as 9 years old. And Ted molested him on the front seat of his car over by the train station here in Detroit.
The more victims they talk to, the more Lamborghini fits the profile.
Some of the victims that we interviewed about what Lamborghini had done to them was not only molested them forcefully and violently, but Lamborghini would force these kids into a tub after to make sure they got rid of any DNA. At least the one subject whose face was pushed in a pillow and thought he was going to suffocate. Obviously, our victims were suffocated, so that was something that we were looking at. We did a search warrant on his apartment to see if we could find any connection to the child killing case. His apartment, I can say, was a very odd place. The cleanliness of it, his furniture was all covered with tags on it, super clean and neat. No food in the refrigerator whatsoever. He ate out 3 meals a day.
Oh yeah, he was obsessive compulsive. I mean, his closet, everything was like this far apart and hanging in his closet. It was crazy. He was nuttier than a junkyard rat.
I confronted him and said, you didn't fail that polygraph because you were afraid. You failed that polygraph because you killed those kids. And his response to me was, God's forgiven me.
Today, Lamborghini was charged with molesting 8 boys in Metro Detroit. But many are eager to know if he is also the Oakland County child killer, a man who has eluded police for 30 years.
When it was all said and done, we had 17 counts, 3 life felony counts on Lamborghini for child molestation from boys that he had raped here in Detroit back in the 70s.
They offer him the possibility of a lighter sentence and witness protection if he agrees to a second polygraph.
He not only turned down the offer, but instead of trying to negotiate some sort of a plea for himself in any way, he pled straight up on the nose, all 17 counts, including life felonies, which to us was very telling. It appeared to us he didn't want to implicate himself in something that may be larger or more massive. He wouldn't talk. He went away quietly.
With no proof that Lamborghini is involved in the Oakland County child killings, that door closes. But another one opens.
I was at my office in Livonia and got a call out of the blue one afternoon, and it was Kathy King, Tim King's older sister. I had never spoken with her before, and she had some information that they had gleaned from a friend of theirs, a friend named Patrick Coffey.
Patrick Coffey lived across the street from the King family in Birmingham back in 1977. He was best friends with Tim's older brother, Chris.
We knew that whole family. We were friends. The King boys and all the Coffey boys. We could play hockey in my uncle's frozen backyard. Matter of fact, if you were looking for one of the King boys or the Coffey boys, that's the first place that the families would call.
Timmy King's parents police and the public were hoping, praying, the 11-year-old youngster would be found alive. Late last night, those desperate hopes wound up in a ditch beside a dirt road in western Wayne County where Timmy King's body had been dumped.
I remember when Timmy was taken and ultimately found dead. It was like a shock to the system. You just can't process it or accept it. I remember leaving out the back door. I didn't want my brothers to see me cry. And I remember pounding my fist against a brick wall.
Whatever.
And thinking this can't be.
Shit. Ready to get it done. Man, we ain't got no big man with me. It's gonna be rough.
I've been doing autograph exams for 30 years, and I do them in
3'6'7". I'm just 6'7" though.
And I personally couldn't have made any contribution to this case.
Until July 2000,
It's all good though, we straight.
where a 1 in a million chance encounter breaks decades of silence.
I thought, this has got to be Providence. This has got to be God's hand in this.
Guy Fieri on Discovery Plus. Whatever people are into, Discovery Plus has it. I mean, totally out of bounds. Tasty new original, and all your faves piled high. Plus, it's gonna really bring the heat. No other streaming service can even come close to the amount of amazing, bingeable, real-life programming. I don't know why they didn't give it more pluses. I mean, it should be called like Discovery Plus, plus to the 10th power plus. Discovery Plus. Stream what you love. How many pluses is that?
This season, a new batch of bakers brings a whole new twist.
Your parents are watching!
No pressure. Oh my god. Season premiere, Kids Baking Championship. Monday at 9 on Food Network.
Ah, that's tough, bro.
Research shows that people
That's
remember
defense.
commercials with exciting stunts. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's something you shouldn't try at home. Look, Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, so we only pay for what we need. It's pretty cool. Very cool. Only pay for what you need.
It's Mattress Firm's year-end sale. Hurry in for savings up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy. Or get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $299.99. Only at Mattress Firm.
Oh, I'm playing Summer though.
Are you ready for the most scrumptious gummy
Good
flavor?
take.
Strawberry flavor? Something that's deliciously healthy? And it doesn't have to break the bank? Vitafusion Gummy Vitamins. Something worth chewing on. Join their stuff. They get comfortable all kinds of places.
Straight, come on.
They also spread all kinds of germs. From cold and flu, stress, and more. Rest easy no matter where they rest protection. Nothing kills more cold and flu viruses, including the COVID-19 virus, on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect. The sun is pretty incredible. It makes Lipton green tea better, and these lemons better, which makes this taste better. You definitely need the sun for that. And
That's tough. It's all good.
antioxidant vitamin C and 50% fewer calories. Choose Lipton green tea today. We all have our own journey.
Yeah, it was, you know, I missed them hoes too.
We'll pass many miles. Moments that define you and drive you to achieve even more. So celebrate that moment. Because success isn't just about where you want to get to. It's also about how you get there. The only cool thing on earth, never stop arriving.
Bill assumed it was a costume party. Bill assumed his mayo was the best choice. Assumed nothing. Just like the leading brand. Kraft Real Mayo is made with high-quality ingredients at a price you can feel good about.
I got you.
It's so good.
Just on the city. And I know it's gonna be. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
No matter how you celebrate this year, make this holiday extra special with a gift from Pandora Jewelry.
I see you.
Opening cans 101. It's back in testing. Tomahawk, Jules, and Burrell. Season premiere. First cooked in America. January 3rd at 9 on Food Network.
Yeah.
We were poster children for the all-American way of life.
She finally had it. It's exciting for her. You're a dope.
She just knew he was on something.
There was detachment, there was avoidance.
Mm.
You just never know what evil lurks just right next door to you.
American Monster. All new Sundays at 9. Only on ID.
At a polygrapher's convention in Vegas in 2006, Patrick Coffey learns that what happens in Vegas...
I got you. All you gotta do is cut.
I was asked to be a guest speaker. I'd gotten done doing my presentation of about a half an hour, and an individual walked up to me, and they said, that was a very dynamic presentation. And from that sentence alone, I heard the unique Michigan nasal accent, if you will.
That's me.
The reason I came into this
I seen you hit corner though.
was because of what happened to my neighbor boy. Maybe you've heard of the case. Most people would call it the Oakland County child killer case. And I noticed a physical change in his face. He said, I tested the guy who confessed to killing your neighbor boy. Feel an instant primal cold sweat. He went on to tell me that they were testing someone on a completely unrelated case, the molestation of a little girl. And that this attorney had sent their client to him to be tested. In the development of all the questions in the polygraph, he was getting some resistance to certain questions. And finally, in frustration, he said to the individual, well, why can't you answer no to that question? To which the individual replied, because I didn't do this one, but I did the King Boy in Birmingham.
As soon as the polygrapher says it, he realizes he shouldn't have and refuses to
bad
say
shot,
the name.
bad shot. That's on me.
He does give Patrick Coffey 2 clues.
That's on
The
me.
individual who confessed is dead, and so is his attorney.
That was unnecessary. That was a terrible shot.
Like midnight or 1 in the morning, phone rings. It's Patrick Coffey. I've talked to him once in 30 years. He tells me this story, and he said that I am telling you this now because I had a stroke last year, and I know life can be short, but I want you to
live, bro. That would be green, bro.
After 30 years, a lead in Tim's murder, but not from the police, from a family friend. But what to do with this information?
My feeling was, okay, I'm an attorney. It was an attorney-client privilege polygraph. And if I take it to the state police, they're going to deep six it. And I didn't tell my dad because at the time he told the state police everything. I knew it was on a circular file and never see the light of day.
So I said to my sister offhandedly, I said, you know, Corey Williams, he put Ted Lamborghini away. He's a hustler. I'm impressed with him. And so she had said, well, let's bring this Pat Coffey lead to Corey.
I had never met him. I called him. I said, I would like to tell you something, but I will only tell you if you won't tell the state police. And he said, well, we can do that up to a point.
I ended my call with Kathy and called my prosecutor right away and said, listen, we might have something interesting here.
Corey Williams started investigating that lead. That was one of the reasons that this case kind of started to spark a little bit again.
Over the next year,
That's defense, bro. That's deep. That ain't no foul.
All they have is the clues Patrick Coffey gave them. The individual is dead, and so is the attorney.
Take this one off.
40 or 50 polygraphs, but only 2 pertaining to the Oakland County child killing.
One
I ain't fucking. Okay.
we read away as not being connected to our case. The other one was Chris Bush and Greg Green.
Those names sound familiar to Detective Williams. In February of 1977, Christopher Bush was the 25-year-old suspect obsessed with boys, arrested, questioned, and polygraphed with his fellow accomplice, Gregory Green, in the murders of the first 3 victims.
We started pulling these records and police reports,
Shut.
meaning not only was molesting kids in Oakland County and all over the place. When they arrested him, he had a suitcase with ropes in the car, child pornography, pounds of weed, and a shotgun.
He was released on bond after being questioned related to
Go.
child killings.
That's good shot. Just go. That's on me.
In 2010, as he digs through the files, Appleman discovers one sentence buried in a small-town northern Michigan newspaper. A sentence that may unlock a dark connection.
This article talks about pornography confiscated from North Fox Island and pornography
trying to pass it out.
confiscated from Christopher Bush.
His name was found among the list of Francis Sheldon's clients and subscribers.
Did the cops have the killer and let him go? Next time on Children of the Snow.
Yeah, we gotta watch the 3s too. If I'm helping to watch the 3-pointer.
This is it. Everything's over.
There's a saying in cold
Paint 2 points.
The vast majority of the time, the killer's name is already in the box.
Did the police miss crucial evidence or deliberately hide it?
I watched Christine leave 7-Eleven with a police officer and was never seen again.
Will science unlock a 40-year-old mystery from a single strand of hair?
If you find out who this hair belongs to, you're gonna have your guy.
Shot. Eyeball. What?
You're really scared, huh?
Should have never passed that bitch. Should have just went up.
They want me to kidnap.
The Oakland County Child
Oh, that's turnover on me.
If I had to describe it in a sentence for somebody who's never heard of it, is the darkest, most disturbing case you've never heard of.
4 children.
Well, shit, he ain't got for 10 points.
And then murdered.
I got 3 blocks on his ass already. I'm 6-7.
The point is, don't go with anybody, because nobody knows who this killer is.
For more than 40 years, someone has gotten away with murder.
We didn't have any viable
Good take, I don't want.
But what if the killer has been there all along?
He's released, and roughly a week later, Timothy King goes missing.
There was major pedophile activities by prominent adults, and I don't know why they should be excluded from Timmy's case.
Shot.
In the conclusion of this 2-part investigation, led by one kid who got away,
I want to know who killed those 4 kids.
See what I'm saying? Ain't nobody don't know.
Like I said, I'm gonna go public, because I'm tired of being checked around.
We unearthed new clues.
I'm a witness in this case. I watched Christine leave 7-Eleven and was never seen again, and she's dead.
I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that suicide maybe wasn't a suicide.
New suspects.
We thought he was going to confess, but he didn't. He wouldn't confess to nothing.
Let me know if this is irritating.
He was an
Let me know if this is
associate
irritating.
of the main suspects. He claims to know nothing. It's not believable.
The mistakes, the inability to solve this crime, I would like to see Barry King and the other families get justice.
Can science provide the answers to this 40-year-old mystery?
It very well could be the missing link.
If you find out who this hair belongs to, you're gonna have your guy.
Everybody wants to know who killed those 4 kids. But really, every day I become
Good
more
take.
convinced that we already know who killed those 4 kids.
Everybody mad down court.
Few Detroiters can forget the winters of 1976 and 77, when a shadowy killer held its suburbs in a grip of fear.
You can't check me, so I ain't worried about it. Trying to rip me or none of that.
Held for days and smothered and dumped in snowy ditches.
We're worried about whose child might be the next victim. Everybody is, and people are afraid.
For their families, it's been a living hell.
It's not an easy thing. You know, I've been living with this for 43 years with no answers.
Good shot.
It's one of those things that never goes away.
Nice shot.
This was a bad period.
What would you think when you go to bed at night
Your daughter was just over for 19 days.
They giving up like we done lost already. That's what I be saying, bro.
7 days, 365. It doesn't
Shit ridiculous, bro.
We have lived our entire
I done did it before.
lives with this. It killed my mom. She lived for 20 more years, but she died that week.
I think all kids in our area feel the same. That the Oakland County child killings, especially because they have never been solved, sort of seeped into us and colored.
He's straight, bro. Straight, bro. We got a whole nother half, man. I just gotta play.
This is the street where I was walking when the guy tried to snag.
I mean, they just got me, but at the end of the day, I got, what, 3 blocks? My big man ain't really doing nothing. It's the 3-pointers that's killing us, bro. These people wide open.
Had the Oakland County child killer.
And if I go help, then the big man open. You feel me?
And it was a big thing to wonder. My mission became finding out why.
In 2005, he decided to try and solve the case. 2 years in, the amateur sleuth took his obsession a step further.
Much of the way seasoned investigators will link things out on a whiteboard or on a wall somehow, I need to write it out to put the pieces together. And at some point, I realized I'd be writing this book. Oh yeah. So I could figure out what happened.
Appleman has gone through thousands of pages of Freedom of Information documents looking for clues. Eventually, the amateur detective discovered the work of a professional detective,
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
who helped to revive
You wanna fly? Why dog your ass? Come on.
One of the things that they did that was probably...
That ain't even my man who dunked that bitch. You see what I'm saying?
They abducted a kid from one community, dropped him in a different one, involving 8 different communities. Mark Stevens from Ferndale was abducted February 15, 1976.
He got me then. I ain't tripping.
So Southfield PD then became involved. And
I'm gonna drop his ass for the game up though.
And they processed the suspect's car. They started following some leads. So you had those 2 agencies working together. Approximately 8 to 10 months later, Jill Robinson was abducted
I'm here.
in Royal Oak. Her body was found in Troy. So there's 4 agencies now. 3 days after her body was found, Christine Helix abducted from
I should have got out that corner.
19
That's on me.
days after that, on January 21st, 1977, her body was found in
I ain't gonna even blame him because he was trying to pass
So
it.
now you have 6 different agencies. On March 16th,
Can't check me, bro.
a few months later, Tim King was abducted from Birmingham.
Call for it.
6 days later, Tim King was
I got you.
discovered on Gill Road, south of 8 Mile in Livonia. That's the first time Wayne County became involved in the investigation. So now you have 2 counties, 8 different agencies, and a mess trying to coordinate. And at one point, there was over 300 detectives working the case.
Give me that.
In
Sorry.
2007, Detective Williams gets a break in the case. Not from dogged detective work, but from a friend of the King family. Polygrapher Patrick Coffey, who once lived across the street from the
Bro, y'all can't be leaving the 3-pointers open though.
His colleague polygraphed a man who confessed to killing Tim King. His colleague, though, would not say the name of who confessed.
Who's that saying that? Okay.
He gave me the 2 variables.
Hold on, what's your name? Hold on. Oh, you.
And that the individual who did it is dead.
You playing the 3? Okay, I got you.
And that I tested the guy.
You playing the 3? I thought you was playing the 2.
To killing your neighbor boy.
As detectives, we know that it's common for a subject to confess what they
I mean, now I know if you call for it, I know who to get involved to.
It was a private polygraph in a case
Can't check 2 people.
the Oakland County child killer, and pre-polygraph exams are protected under attorney-client privilege. Detective Williams painstakingly digs through the police reports and old polygraphs conducted in Flint, looking for a subject and
You good? I'm back.
who are now both dead. After months, He narrows it down to one name familiar to the police.
When did you first hear the name of the person who allegedly may be the killer?
The first time I heard his name, Corey Williams called me and said, did you guys go to high school with anybody named Bush?
Get that shit out of here.
And I said,
That's
no,
4 blocks.
that's what ring a bell. And I said, you know, anything more? He said, no, it's just the last name. We're just, you know, just wondering.
What Detective Williams doesn't tell them is how much he and the task force already know about 25-year-old Christopher Bush of Bloomfield Township.
Bush was a real good suspect back in the day. He had been charged for molesting kids in 4 counties at the same time back in January 1977. Some victims were groomed by him.
That's good take. That's all good.
Marijuana, alcohol. He'd show them a handgun he had and threaten them and molest them that way. When they arrested him, he had a suitcase with ropes in the car, child pornography.
Hey, bro, they trash, bro. We losing to them. They trash, bro. Let me see the house.
Promising, but it's early days.
We try and share as much as we can with families, but you know we have to keep our cards close to our vest for the reason that we want to solve the case.
Bush, the pedophile, didn't work alone.
Damn it, he got that fast.
Had an accomplice, 26-year-old Gregory Green of Flint, Michigan.
Gregory Green is one of the most horrific personalities that you can conceive of. A Class A pedophile, serial rapist.
Green has been arrested many times out in Orange County, California.
I'm dead.
The way he got caught is he molested a boy, took him in the bushes along the freeway.
No, he ain't getting none of that.
To near death.
None of
He
that.
thought he had killed him, put him in the back of his car, drove to an area hospital, and the authorities at the hospital found the boy laying on the grass and he was alive and identified Green.
In 1975, he comes to Michigan. He meets up with Christopher Bush.
Hey, look.
They become a team. And in 1977, they were charged with multiple counts of...
Oh, I thought you were gonna shoot that bit, bro.
Green and Bush are now in the hands of the police. To save himself, Green turns in Bush and drops a bombshell.
Tip 369 is the tip on Christopher Bush. This isn't a random tip. This is a tip that came from the fact that Gregory Green had gone on Christopher Bush and had said Christopher Bush killed Mark Stebbins. Gregory Green had already abducted children, had already suffocated a child unconscious, had already done all the things we were looking for. It makes a lot of sense.
Straight, take your time.
Green thought he was going to get convicted of this and turned on Christopher Bush instead.
That's gonna be my first.
At the time of his arrest, 3 children had been abducted and murdered at the hands of the Oakland County child killer.
You good?
7-year-old Tim King is still very much alive. The more Detective Williams reads about Bush and Green, the more they fit the profile.
The police asked Bush where he had picked
I
up
know.
in the past. And he said one boy I picked up in Ferndale in the 9 Woodward area.
Yeah.
Second boy I picked up 12 in Greenfield area and took him to 7-Eleven in Hartfield. Then the third subject he said he picked up between 12 and 13 miles away. He had just named all 3 abduction locations of our first 3 victims.
Christopher Bush said that he and Gregory Green had fantasized about abducting children and tying up children, and that they had fantasized that they would work split shifts at their jobs so that one of them would be with the children at all times.
Oh man, they hold.
First thought of as a lone serial.
Oh man. He made him miss a wide open fucking leg
It just
up.
gets bigger and bigger and bigger with this case.
For skin that never holds you back, don't settle for silver. Number 1 for diabetic dry skin. Number 1 for psoriasis symptoms. And number 1 for eczema.
Was it on now?
The 3 platinum fruit
Get shit out of here.
Because every journey into the bathroom
Oh yeah.
is an extra comfortable one. Would you agree, fellas?
That's supposed to be red, green, bro.
He's a big man who can shoot 3. What's your build?
Secondary ball handler.
When they're sick, they get comfortable all kinds of places. They also spread all kinds of germs. From cold and flu to strep.
Get in the paint, I'm gonna throw you out.
Rest easy no matter where they rest protection.
I knew he was gonna get in the way, bro. Trash, bro.
On more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray.
Good tea.
What it takes to protect. The sun is pretty incredible. It makes Lipton green tea better and is lemon better, which makes this taste better. You definitely need the sun for that.
And guess we can go tomorrow.
With antioxidant vitamin C and 50% fewer calories, choose Lipton green tea today. This Mattress Firm's year-end sale. Hurry in for savings up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy. Or get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $299.99. Only at Mattress Firm.
Bro, it's so hard to check two people, bro. That shit tough. I can't help out at all. That's a good cut. It's on me, bro. I feel you, bro.
Things up and running again.
You good.
Box of townhouse crackers, I'm craving adventure.
I see you. All you gotta do is cut. I'm gonna give you the ball. As you can see, my man cannot check me, bro.
Your dog is your best friend. But your dog's best friend is your ex-girlfriend. Because she always has irresistible pepperoni.
I mean, you straight. You good, bro. You
Be
good.
your best
It's all
friend's
good.
best friend. Pepperoni.
And this shot me.
Yeah, it's weird.
Is your body's natural way of cooling itself down.
Yeah, I just.
Then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me.
Yeah, you straight.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try O'Keefe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keefe's Lip Repair. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
I want these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
$40. And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Between work, family, and everyday life, I can't slow down. Thankfully, CBD Energy helps me conquer the day. And with so many products to choose from, CBD Energy has something for everyone. Their products are THC-free, always tested by independent labs, and their no-hassle guarantee really puts my mind at ease.
Oh, yeah.
CBDNG.com makes shopping so easy. Take advantage of instant savings and fast free shipping. Available at CBDNG.com.
I went for a hop step and he took a layup. That's crazy.
Make sure you stream from a safe place.
Our other teammate would have might quit in the second
only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
Detective Williams has just learned that back in 1977, the police may have had the Oakland County child killer in custody before Tim King, the last victim, went missing. Christopher Bush makes no bones about being a pedophile and faces a slew of child molestation charges, and yet agrees to take a polygraph.
We put a lot of time and effort into it, and we felt we had the Oakland County child killer.
You play PlayStation or Xbox?
The task force was very excited about
Who
this.
that?
So much so that Dick Thompson, the assistant prosecutor in Oakland County at the time, flew up to Flint for the polygraphs and the interviews of these guys.
After more than an hour of intense questioning,
Bush passed his polygraph saying that he wasn't the killer and he didn't know anything about the case.
it was a stunning turnaround.
Oh, yes.
Before DNA, investigators cleared suspects based solely on those tests.
polygraph was a hot commodity at that time. It was relatively new, and they put a lot of faith into it. The original detective...
They can't check me. That's why they can't do them and fire me, bro.
They were using, for lack of a better word, the polygraph as a measuring stick to either exclude somebody or move on or continue investigating.
Another shock. Bush's partner in crime, Green, also passes the polygraph. Green will not make bail on his other abuse charges and is jailed. But somehow, Christopher Bush posts bond and is released.
Gregory Green gets life in prison for the criminal sexual conduct charges they were facing. Was not charged with anything related to Oakland County child killing. Christopher Bush got a small fine of like $1,000 or something and probation for the same criminal sexual conduct charges.
When they passed polygraph, they marked on all of the records of Bush and Green cleared. So that in the future, if anybody else would look into Bush or Green, they'd pull that file and it said cleared.
The police never informed any of the victims' families about the Bush and Green lead. Years later, when Bush's name resurfaces, they are still reluctant to talk.
We said, well, we brought this forward a year ago and you asked us to wait, so we waited a year. Can't you just tell us what you're doing? And they said, okay, we'll talk to you in 3 months. And then 3 months go by and then they say, we'll talk to you in another 3 months.
This is very secretive. I'm being told, don't tell anybody anything. Let us work on this.
We always try and keep the families, especially since the lead came through them, somewhat apprised of what we're doing without giving them the details of the case. Because we can't chance it getting out to the media. We wanted to keep it tight.
Frustrated, the King family does some digging on their own. All they have to work with is the name Bush.
So I called up my friend, and she does a little genealogy search, comes up with the Bush family in Bloomfield Village.
That's when they learn why the law may have gone easy on Bush. Bloomfield Township is an affluent community in Oakland County, just 4 miles from the King family home in Birmingham.
Chris Bush was the youngest of 4 sons born to H. Lee Bush and his wife Elsie Bush. H. Lee Bush rose through the ranks of GM to become the top financial comptroller for Europe and Asia. He spent a lot of time in Europe.
GM owned this town. They were, higher up the scale than the mayor or the governor. They would have tremendous power.
Christopher Bush was not just some kid with a Corvette. He wasn't just your average schmuck riding around in the suburbs. He went to this private school in Switzerland.
The question is how much societal influence is going on. Because Oakland County, again, is a small place, and people of influence know one another.
Was money and power behind all the secrecy?
Was it misfeasance or malfeasance? Did they bungle the investigation somehow, or were they trying to protect someone?
Appleman discovers the King family may have been onto something and digs deeper. In 2010, he comes across an obscure article in a northern Michigan newspaper about a child pornography ring on North Fox Island in Lake Michigan. The owner of that island was wealthy philanthropist Frank Sheldon of Ann Arbor. Posing as a camp for troubled teens, in reality, it was a haven for pedophiles and child pornography.
Shortly after the Sevens murder, Fox Island gets broken up, and there really wasn't much made of what was going on up north in the big papers. But then I found these other little articles, here and there. This article talks about pornography confiscated from North Fox Island and pornography confiscated from Christopher Bush.
His name was found among the list of Francis Sheldon's clients and subscribers.
At the same time, in southern Michigan, in the Detroit area, Christopher Bush is being looked at as a suspect in the slaying of the first child killed in the Oakland County child killings. When looking back at the documents describing all of this, it appears that police personnel didn't connect Christopher Bush to the Frank Sheldon pornography mill, or vice versa.
Finally, a connection between North Fox Island and the Oakland County child killer. Between the wealthy Francis Sheldon and the well-connected Christopher Bush. Francis Sheldon fled to Amsterdam and never paid for his crimes against children. Christopher Bush got released on bail.
He's released, and roughly a week later, Timothy King goes missing.
Timmy King's father offered words of encouragement to his missing son and a plea to his kidnapper.
And one other statement to those persons or persons who may be with Tim. I don't know if you have children or if you want to have some, but please treat Tim the same way you would your own kid.
Tim was kidnapped, sexually abused, and suffocated 6 days later.
Oh, blow these rounds.
I can't think of a more hideous death.
4 times convicted child molester. Yeah. Carrying 8mm films, for child pornography.
Yo, bro.
Finger pointed at him from
Yo. Hey, look, I'm getting my BC tomorrow for my cousin.
Detective Williams zeroes in on the original polygraph.
All my stuff. I'm getting my BC tomorrow. But I'm telling you right now.
You trying to run some 1-3s with us?
Oh, look,
yeah, we can.
I might get 60 overall. I might get 60 overall, but I'm wrong.
Yo, bro, y'all just don't sell me, bro. Come on, bro.
I try my best.
I don't sell you, nigga. I play these games for days, nigga. I'm on 2K20. I'm on SH1 95 overall on me. And I see it too. Go to podcast, man.
I'm finna get you the ball. I'm finna see.
Work these guys at the same time, thinking, wow, we're blown away. How did they let these guys go?
Patrick Coffey has been conducting polygraph exams for decades.
The limitation of that device was that you were completely relying on
subjective
expert opinion. Now, with a computerized polygraph instrument, this is a much finer way because you have both the advantage of my training as an individual expert and the computer scoring algorithms can also do this.
If we had this equipment back in 1977 when they were polygraphing people, would the outcome have been different?
If these 2 tests had been done on a computerized system, the examiner would have clearly seen that they were deceptive.
You're that confident?
I'm that confident. And my career spans 30 years in polygraph.
The King family suspects the police are holding back because cracks in the original investigation are beginning to show.
Perhaps they don't want to acknowledge that they let Christopher Bush go before Timmy was kidnapped. Perhaps the fact that he's the son of a prominent General Motors executive, there's some financial part involved. All the mystery books I read or the movies I saw, the cops solved the crime. And I just trusted the people who we pay to do that. That was my attitude.
Dad said, you got to talk to us now, and then they wouldn't talk to him again. He said, well, you don't talk to us, we're going to go to the media.
And here you have Barry King, for 30 years, asking just
I thought I had that rebound.
The cops saying, I can't tell you anything. Sorry. I can't tell you anything. It's
Copy, man.
a horrific thing to do to a parent.
For 32 years, he's waited for the truth. He's not waiting any longer.
I just said I'm in the public, so I'm tired of being jacked around.
Barry called and said, would you come over to the house? He said, the reason I asked you here today is because all along I've trusted law enforcement to do the right thing. And I've never asked too many questions because I've always believed they were working hard on the case. And he said that's not the case now.
Reporter Marnie Keenan has just been handed the biggest story of her career.
And he said, all along we thought it was some deranged monster from out of the area. And then we find out that it couldn't possibly be, the son of a prominent GM executive who lived right in our area.
The block.
I said to my husband, I think I know who the county child killer is.
There's a block, right? Trash.
To find the right lid every time, try the Rubbermaid Easy Find Lid System.
Green, what?
The holidays
My fault.
are full of tradition. But it's time they got a technology update from Hyundai.
That's me, come on.
Thanks to the savings you'll still find during the last days of Hyundai holidays, you'll discover a new Hyundai will make your new year very merry indeed. Hurry to the final days of Hyundai holidays.
Get 0% APR for 72 months of the Tucson, plus $1,000 bonus cash or no payments for up to 5 months. Offers end January 4th.
Gigi's mashed potatoes. Aunt Steph's apple pie. Even if your loved ones can't make it for the holidays, their dishes can still make it to the table. It's gonna be great. The Gourmet, by your side for over 130 holiday seasons.
This holiday, get the phones everyone wants on the 5G America's been waiting for.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Now, get one of our best 5G phones on us when you buy one, and get $500 when you switch. Plus, select unlimited plans include Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
100% obsessed with Mandalorian.
I watch a lot of sports.
And that's all my favorite shows.
And right now, the gaming the whole thing Plus is also on us.
Like a gift on top of another gift. Gifts keep coming at you.
This is 5G from America's most reliable network.
When dehydration is real.
Hey! Hi!
Advanced hydration isn't just for kids. Pedialyte helps you hydrate during recovery.
All the moms in the world. Narrow it to all those karate moms in desperate need of brown sugar. Meaning you're the one we made my Walgreens for. With pickup in as little as 30 minutes.
Yo, welcome to the stream, bro. Get some sub up. I'm getting out of demolished right now, but it's all good.
You keep doing everything. I know.
If you were to describe this case, how would you describe it? A nightmare? Was the crime committed and then coming process?
Stuck my head in and saw her dead with a knife through her short chest.
What was it that you felt walking in there?
Could have been my daughter. He's a psychopath.
This is all hands on deck case.
True Conviction with Anasita Nicolosi. All new season premieres Wednesday at 11 on ID.
Oh man, all out of bourbon. Looks like one of us is going to have to go to the store.
Or you can get drinks delivered fast with Drizzly. Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. Just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Plus, Drizzly lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Drizzly.
So keep your night on pause with Drizzly.
No, Drizzly.
Dear Mom and Dad, this is a gift I can feel so for. It's called Stories. Every week they'll email you a question about your life, and you just write back with your story. We'll get to read them too and share them with the kids. Then, after a year, you'll get a beautiful hardcover book of all your stories, so we can enjoy them together and hold on to them as a family forever. Give someone you love Storybook, the perfect last-minute gift with instant delivery.
Cooking in a parking lot with someone else's random groceries? What could go wrong? Oh, more damn dog food. What are you doing? Season premiere, Supermarket Steakhouse, Tuesday night at 10 on Food Network.
That is so out of trash, dude, bro. It's crazy, bro. Can't do these randoms, man, on this part.
Make sure you stream from a safe place. The greatest selection of true crime only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
2 weeks after the King family met with reporter Marty Keenan, the Oakland County child killer case is back on the front page.
Stayed hidden for 30 years, that's in use everywhere. So we just felt like if the case is going to get solved, some word has to get out there.
The Kings don't hold back. They claim pedophile Christopher Bush, the son of a GM executive, killed 11-year-old teen. Someone the police questioned and released 3 weeks before their brother was abducted and murdered. They think the police have kept the name under wraps and stonewalled them for years.
For the Kings to have handed over this lead to the Michigan State Police, their lead, the lead that nobody would have ever known had they not, and then to hold on to it and to stonewall the Kings and say, no, we can't tell you anything. We're working hard on it, but we can't tell you anything. Corey Williams had been warning the Kings were ready to go public if you didn't sit down and inform them what you had done with the lead that they had handed you. I remember asking Barry, why do you think they're stonewalling you? And he said, well, if I had information that I had a really good suspect in hand, and then I let him go, and 3 weeks later my son is murdered, I wouldn't want the public to know that.
The Michigan State Police are in full damage control. The next day, they call a meeting with all of the 4 families.
And of course, you know, media trucks and me and everybody else camped out. And the Michigan State Police said, no, we don't talk to victims' families and inform them about what we're doing in our investigation. We have to protect the quote-unquote integrity of the investigation. You go into a room, you got 15 people in there, and you think, all right, here you go, families. We want to share with you what we've been working on. They didn't say one word.
I had a list of 5 questions, and I read them off to them. They received that many answers. Zip, zero, nada. It was a political meeting.
If the police are hoping to placate the families, their plan backfires.
We left there completely deflated and pissed off that we were not any further along and that they were just blowing smoke our way. They had no intentions. The meeting basically was to get us there, to tell us to shut up, and how dare we take any names to the public.
Barry's plan worked. With the families now galvanized and Bush's name now public, reporters jump on the most promising lead in 30 years.
It was huge. It was huge. And my mission at that point was, who is this Bush guy? I tracked him all over the state. Property records, I mean, different houses that his parents had owned or he had owned. I went and tracked down mugshots from when he got arrested from back in the day and all these old court files. I was the one that then uncovered his jail records and flints that showed he got a deal to get out, his prior horrific acts with children. And when you first start looking at all the documents, you go, oh my gosh, 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 there's so many things here that look so like this could be the guy.
In November of 2008, police did search this property in Bloomfield Village. They vacuumed air ducts and combed through the home for hair and fibers. Christopher Bush once lived here with his wealthy parents. And it's here that he killed himself in 1978.
Reporters delved into the details of Bush's suicide, details the original task force ignored.
We tracked down Bush's suicide report from the Bloomfield Township Police Department. They said something about it was in the wrong file. They came across it eventually and we got a hold of it. The circumstances around the suicide seemed really strange.
Detective Williams and the newly revived task force thought so too.
Normally an autopsy protocol is done or reported by an ME explaining the entire condition of the body and where the shot came in and the damage it did and any other findings they had.
Ready to get this done?
But all we had was a cover sheet.
Oh yeah.
All it said was Christopher Bush died on this day. Suicide by gunshot wound.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
His blood alcohol level.
It was like off the chart. Crazy. How
Let's
would
see
you
if we
even
can win, man. If we win,
Guy
I don't
4-1
know.
alcohol to be able to put a shot right between his eyes.
Let's see if we can win.
Can you catch hoops?
When we saw the photographs of those suicides,
Can you catch lobs?
it appears to me there was also no contact wound where the barrel would have been up against the skin. So that was a lot of unusual things.
Jack Saltflash was a detective with Birmingham Police and a member of the original task force. He's always felt the circumstances around Bush's death were highly suspicious.
Have a seat. Most people who commit suicide by rifle
Why
or
you stop running?
either put the weapon under their chin or in their mouth. Not in the top of their head. To have shot himself in the head, he would have bent his knees up to put the butt of the gun between his knees. His body was under a blanket at the time he was found. That normally indicates somebody that cared, but he could have been a concern to others.
It won. Let's go.
It's hard to hold.
Y'all the best one I ever played with.
Our first thought was this looks kind of staged, but we're going by 30-some-year-old Polaroid photographs.
Players that I ever played with.
Whoa! In the bedroom closet was a pile of
That's that much.
3 of the 4 victims of the Oakland County child killer were found with ropes wrapped in pellets.
Yeah, I can do all that.
Then the police find something that stops them cold.
When we got the files, in them was a hand drawing of a boy
all he do post.
All you
trying to do.
To us, the clothing appeared to be Mark's stuff.
You the best out here.
Let's go.
When the detective from the state police and myself saw that drawing and looked at each other, all we could say is why? Why would somebody have that?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I should have went off for the dunk goal layup. I should have not go that.
Everybody kind of knows what's going on.
You grew up with these people, and you think you know somebody, but it turns out that you really don't know anybody.
That's all.
Everywhere.
You never actually want to see inside the mind of a murder.
Good take, big man.
Tuesday at 10, only on ID.
Key, man. I'm a big man out here.
Jeep is more than a legendary SUV brand. It's a community. We share a love of adventure. We share a spirit. Now we're sharing the employee price with you.
I got you.
Treating you like one of our own. Because that's exactly what you are.
Good D.
That's a Jeep Big Finishing. With employee pricing for $4,712 below MSRP, plus $750 from the 2021 Cherokee Limited.
Even the smallest surprise?
Can make the
Memories. He thought he was making it. That boy got his takeover.
Big enough to last a
I supposed to call that.
He tried to throw you at Ellis so let you know you can catch him.
I can catch him. It's just, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
They got that.
Those crackers, I'm craving adventure.
With me, the possibilities are
Endless. Hot buffalo. Spicy queso.
That's a story.
You do think good with everything. I know. Anything can be a dip.
He gonna fire me. He trash. He can't.
He know you got takeover, bro.
He can't check me.
He
Can't check me.
know you got takeover.
I'm gonna kill him, bro.
Good D. That was a good D on him. That was a good D. Shoot that shit. Oh, y'all hit make it wise?
Yeah.
Y'all hit make it wise or something?
Now try Nestle Pure Life Plus. Water enhanced with minerals.
I want to get game points so bad, yo.
Just like your fingertips, your lips have a unique print.
You want game point? Go get it.
Your lips are like no other. I need a lip routine that's just right for
We'll
you.
get to you. We'll get to you. It's all good. I got you.
That's my bad.
It's all good.
Good D.
Good D, bro.
Get that.
Cut.
Switch the Geico and got more.
Game. Oh my god.
You good? You good?
Hold on, I'm at the end of this game.
Okay.
Alright,
That's
over there.
fine.
It doesn't matter who end the game, I just want to end the game.
Geico's got you covered.
Hey, Brooks. Hey, white shirt, if you can hear me, just end the game.
You seeing this? Geico. Expect great savings.
Good shit.
Let's go.
There you go.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
Good take.
Deal-dash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
I want these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40. And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Hey bro, can I say you a friend request, bro?
That's cool.
What you say?
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright, I'm finna say you a...
Alright.
Hey, I'm gonna send y'all a friend request because I gotta get out of here.
Alright.
Alright, you can send me a friend request.
Okay.
I got a badge. Just have both of us a friend request.
Professional chefs or not.
I'm not trying to sell vacuum.
Hey, Calvin, come in!
Can we get salt and pepper?
No. They're competing to see who's the best chef on the block. They're ready to battle. Series premiere Kitchen Crash, Wednesday, January 6th to 10 on Food Network.
Make sure you stream from a safe place. The greatest collection of true crime only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
Have you looked at that folder?
I've seen it. It looked exactly like my brother. With his mouth open like he was screaming. That was devastating.
The sketch, resembling Mark's death, along with the ropes and the dead man, Christopher Bush, set off red flags for the Bloomfield police on the scene, and they alert the task force.
They came out to take a look, and the ropes and the drawings were confiscated and the rifle and taken to the state police lab.
Oddly, the task force doesn't wait for the results. Within 24 hours, his death is ruled a suicide. 2 days later, the lab report comes in, goes straight into the files, and doesn't see the light of day for decades.
The report says that although Christopher Bush allegedly shot himself in the head with a rifle, there was no gunshot residue on his fingers. There's no mention of blood spatter. There's no brain or tissue or bone matter on the gun. There's no blood anywhere.
Hey yo, we got another game, yo.
Murder with suicide. A lot of stuff going for
Yo, I can't believe I just won. And I hit ball once, yo.
Okay, he's dead, but he was the guy.
25 days after Christopher Bush's death, the Oakland County Child Killer
I see you, bro. You gotta do a shoot.
and the case fades into
That boy
obscurity.
did not just shoot that.
Good take.
Christopher Bush died, and he was no longer actively
People in the same people.
But there's no
Like,
reason.
why they want to spend a lot? Like, they know,
It doesn't mean you
know
can't follow those leads and figure out if he did it or not. But
alright, this man
investigation
keep
into
dunking
Christopher
and all
Bush
that.
all but stopped
Keep
immediately
not
after his death.
I did not mean to. Man.
They wrote a nice letter to all the victims saying we're so sorry that we haven't been able to name a suspect, but we'll continue to work in earnest.
I'm not talking about you. I'm
I
not talking
feel
about you.
like in my own heart, once
That's bad shot.
Bush was found dead,
Go up, go up, go up.
they saw
Why he
what was at
jumping?
that scene. They stopped looking.
Give me that
They
boy.
stopped investigating this case.
That's me. That's my fault. That's my fault.
Give me that. Give me that.
It was ruled a suicide. We are very suspicious of that as detectives, and we'll keep that thought in the back of our heads while we continue to investigate. But as of right now, we don't know.
If Christopher Bush's death wasn't a suicide, was it murder? And by who?
Good D.
There are 8 or 10 scenarios you can come up with.
Good shot.
Children both sides.
That's
If
good
he thought he
shot.
was close to being caught, maybe he killed
Keep trying
himself.
to pass that,
If the
right?
so-called ring of predators existed, perhaps one of the predators killed him.
Hey yo, that boy I'm gonna keep
The
running
idea
him
that
because
there
I
was
know
a
that boy
ring
can always dump
of
every time.
predators makes a lot of sense to me
He can always
because
dump.
it's
all
almost
you
too
do.
much for one person to handle.
Okay.
You know, a solo operator. I mean, these things are so quickly done.
Still. Yo, what?
If somebody else did it, it would be someone who was protecting themselves from what they thought was a possible leak.
With an influential underground of pedophiles operating out of Michigan,
No, I
a
got
number
you.
of them may have wanted Bush dead.
If they thought he was weak or he
Shot.
indicated that he wanted to get away from this and was considered a so-called weak citizen,
Yeah, he should.
eliminate the case and the task force, than to waste him and make it look like suicide. There's just too much stuff there that made it look like I'm the man, this is it, everything's over. And that bothers me.
Pass the ball. Thank you.
He had quit his
I missed,
job
bro.
and
That's
was
tough.
going to start a new job that he really wanted 4 days
Good hell,
after
D.
he committed suicide. Told people how
All the
much
way.
he was enjoying this opportunity.
Oh, they brought that.
Then he commit suicide. And if you commit suicide and you're that concerned about killing children, why wasn't there a note?
They just can't. No. That's a big crime.
Whether it's suicide or
Good
someone
D.
holding a gun to his head.
Good D.
Like I was tripping. Like you was tripping. Like you was going past that. Keep past something scary. Like you know.
In 2009, science gives Detective Williams the biggest breakthrough in 3 decades. Thanks to new DNA technology, they now have a match to the one hair found on the body of the 3rd victim, Christina.
I keep reaching because this man going all he knows is going to keep dunking.
Indicator that
Bookshots.
someone specifically was apparently physically tied to the murders of these kids.
They got
Is it Christopher Bush or someone else?
Oh, you can't go up with that. That's a center, boy. Oh my god, yo. That boy got taken over.
Tasty new original. And all your faves piled high. Whoa, it's been
And I
a
just
really
blocked
spring
the
debut.
takeover, dummy.
No other streaming service seems to come close to the amount of
Oh
amazing,
my god.
visual, real-life programming. I don't know why they didn't give it more pluses. I mean, it should be called like Discovery Plus, plus to the 10th Power Plus, Discovery Plus.
That's all.
Needs to be loved. How many bucks is this?
Selling
One small town, two big
Only
dreamers.
selling the egg. Selling the egg, dummy.
Something like this. Wow.
It's a great honor.
I wanted me to shoot that.
Just straight on back.
Let's go, give me that. Come on. Give me that. Oh my god. I thought I made that.
It's all good.
Sorry. Get that still, get that still. Ah, I thought he passed it away. That's good. That's a lead.
Bro.
That was your rebound.
This game, bro.
Rest easy no matter where they rest protection. Nothing kills more cold and flu viruses, including COVID-19 virus, on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray.
Come on, sucker.
What it takes to protect.
Oh. And one. No.
What's so great about dunking at home? You don't have to wear pants. Okay.
He's spamming me.
Enjoy the great
You gotta go up with that boy.
Whether you're curling or crunching, running or riding, lifting or lunging.
That's it. That's big rings. Please. Ah.
It's okay.
He good.
There are many
That's all.
reasons
Give me that
for
boy.
waiting to visit your doctor right now.
Let's
But if
go.
you're
What way?
experiencing irregular heartbeat,
Good
heart
rebound.
racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait to contact your doctor, because these symptoms could be signs of a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which could make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so this is no time to wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Bill assumed it was a costume. Bill assumed his mayo was the best choice. Assumed nothing. Just like the leading brand. Kraft Real Mayo is made with high-quality ingredients at a price you can feel good about. No wonder Kraft is so good.
Of course, we'll get that boy.
And as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance. So they only pay for what they need. Got it?
Excuse me. That's great.
Only pay for
I got you.
Doing push-ups.
Big time.
He's selling the bag now. Oh, that's game. Get the heck off the court. That's game.
Game time. Here going.
So tomorrow, it's a different story. Recommended in use by dermatologists.
With Mattress Firm's Rest Assured promise, you can try America's best mattress brand.
You said my favorite class?
Yeah, I accepted it. My jump shot is, I think jump shot 98.
So Center had 10 points, at least I won. He had an A+, I had an A+. All of us had A.
Oh yeah, my jump shot on my channel though. I think jump shot 98 mixed with Lonzo Ball and
I have CK20 because I'm a 96.
Carmelo Anthony, I think.
Here's something to chew on. Are you ready for the most scrumptious gummy vitamins with extraordinary flavors? Something that's
Yo, sub up though. Hit a subscribe button.
Vitavision gummy vitamins. Nothing worth
Hey bro, send me an invite, bro. Send me an invite to a party, alright?
Yeah, send me one.
Is that you one?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you one.
Alright.
Describe this case. How would you describe it? A nightmare? What's the crime?
Oh, he came all that big win, bro. What's wrong with these dudes?
Dead with a knife protruding short chest.
What was it that you felt walking in there?
Could have been my daughter. He's a psychopath.
True Conviction with Anasika Nicolazi. All new season premieres.
Yeah, sub up.
In 2009, thanks to DNA technology, there was a physical match in the Oakland County child killer case.
This was the first time that a living individual was identified by physical
You want to
evidence.
see my video? Hold on, let me show it to you.
The hair, recovered from the blouse that was the victim, 11-year-old Christine Mihalis, is not a match to Christopher Bush, but to a new suspect, someone he was convicted of molesting, James
There you go.
of Kalamazoo.
Vince Gunnels was a little bit older than the other boys and continued to associate
They got my badges.
Bush and Green after he got molested by him into his later years, as old as 16 and 17 years old.
Could Gunnels be both a victim and a killer? The hair is a mitochondrial match, which means it belongs to Gunnels or a relative on his mother's side. But because of the quality of the hair, a perfect DNA match is impossible.
And we still have an active investigation into Vince Gunnels.
Gunnels was 16 at the time of the murders. Today, he sits in a Michigan prison. He has a history of property and drug crimes, but has never been charged in any criminal sexual case. The police, though, believe
But
he
he can
may
dribble
have been
real
part of the
good,
group
though.
involved in the child killings, or a lure to draw kids closer to the killer.
Yeah,
In
6'7".
2009, they questioned Gunnels a number of times in prison.
He was a confused
What's up?
teenager,
What up,
manipulated
bro?
by grown men.
Where you at? Alright.
The approach the police took was, your hair was found on one
I
of the
said
bodies.
yours.
We believe this means you know
Alright.
something.
I'll say it in my green.
And we also believe that
Hey,
whatever
Daddy.
you know came from the fact
Hold
that
on, I'll be right back.
men, Christopher Bush and Gregory Green, were victimizing you at the time. We have no intention of prosecuting you for anything that you know. All we want to know is what happened to Christopher Bush and Gregory Green in relationship to the Oakland County child killings.
He just said, oh yeah, I ran with Bush. I was in his car a million times. That's how my hair got picked up. I don't know how that hair got on Christine.
Bush was convicted of sexually assaulting Vincent Gunnels. He admitted to molesting him
Yeah,
at
the
the
bill,
Bush family
fine.
cottage on
It's
West
straight.
Lake in northern Michigan.
I was pursuing Mr. Gunnels. We were hoping to talk to him about
Keep
Christopher
it on the
Bush
screen.
and this potential connection. I guess the theory would have been that if he'd been in the vehicle, had Christine been in the vehicle, did that then connect the victim to Bush via Vince Gunnels? I actually wrote to him in prison and he wrote back. And he says, thank you very much for the offer to conduct an investigative interview in concern to Mr. Bush and his assault and molestation on me. But yeah, he's wanted to know if I was more aware of his recent issues with the police, and he thought they were not being nice to him at all.
Gunnels agrees to take the polygraph. His answers to 3 questions could solve the 30-year-old Oakland County child killer case once and for all.
Yeah, hold on.
Here's a note saying, if he takes the polygraph and is cleared, he is no longer a suspect and can be paroled. He takes the polygraph, throws it. He admits to throwing it. He's holding his breath. He's tapping his foot. He's making movements and such.
Hey, yo.
Appears to throw the results.
Hey, bro, I'ma hop on Fortnite with my little bitch.
You intentionally failed polygraph.
And then and then after, like, you finish a game, then me and you gonna, like, keep playing games, alright?
2009,
you can still be in my party, though. You can still be in my party. I'm just
Alright.
Read the transcript. They tell him, well, you flunked, and he just says, oh.
You in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm playing on the same court.
Yeah, I'm grinding because I got my friends who are 63.
I missed it.
Yeah, my center is 63 now.
A hair found on Mark Stebbins' jacket, 2 hairs from the body of Tim King, one in his navel cavity and one on his groin.
The reason we were interested in that particular hair is because Tim was prepubescent at the time, and the medical examiner said that more than likely
I need no help, man. Come on, bro.
When the results come in, the hair found on the first victim, Mark Stebbins, and the 4th victim, Tim King, share the same partial DNA. They're likely from the same person.
These 2 hairs between Stebbins and King were the first actual evidence that kids were linked.
Then another incredible discovery from the long-forgotten police files. Slides originally labeled debris weren't debris at all.
The scientists there were looking at them, and they said, sure enough, there's human hairs in these slides, which was fantastic.
New leads from old evidence buried for more than 3 decades.
So I thought that was going to be our best bet to solve in this case.
How would you leave him like that, though?
Whoever is the owner of those hairs is likely our killer.
Scientists at the State Police Crime Lab in Lansing have finally finished gathering genetic material from evidence in the Oakland County child killer case.
We're excited about what we have found.
In 2007, additional human hairs found on mislabeled slides offer investigators a new lead in the Oakland County child killer case.
Sergeant Gray says more work needs to be done to determine if the new information will lead to an arrest, but this is a significant step.
2 years later, in March 2009, that evidence finally revealed its secret. The mislabeled hair was lifted from the car of one of the original suspects in Mark Stebbins' murder. Mechanic, tow truck driver, and convicted pedophile Art Sloan. That hair matches 3 hairs found on the 1st and 4th victims.
Yeah,
I'm there too. That's crazy.
For physical evidence. Now we were pointed in the right direction. Let's take a look at Art Sloan.
At the time of Mark's disappearance in 1976, Art Sloan had just been released from prison.
Art Sloan was convicted of molesting children. He had occupied a little mobile trailer in the center of the abandoned Packer plant where he would seduce and molest them. He had been interviewed as a suspect in this case almost immediately after Mark Stebbins was found dead.
And they took tapings throughout his vehicle.
What's up, bro?
They had fiber samples. And who knew?
Hey, bro, I'm hopping back on 2K21, alright?
Alright.
Lead in the case.
Because my friend, he playing the little 2K21 demo.
Fire department gave
I mean,
out
I don't know what the
badges
magic
to
one
firefighters, and
is,
it's always been a theory
because he got the
2K21 or somebody working with the killer.
He got the 2K21, the one me you had?
Yeah.
He got that. He got that. It's just
Covering the Oakland County child killer case, investigative reporter Heather Catallo is well aware of Art Sloan's similarities to the killer's profile.
He had vehicles, he had access to move people around, he had that camper. Remember, there was these theories of where would someone keep a child for several days without someone else knowing. And Art Sloan started to look like a really good suspect.
Hey, what your name?
Retired Michigan State Police Detective David Robertson is a
Hey bro, can you join me?
His father ran the original
Say what?
1970s.
Hey bro, join me. I'm not in a park yet. You could just go join me for
being in high school.
Alright.
And my dad coming home with a
You in the same park I'm in?
tips and saying, here, look at these. And if there's something in there you think should be investigated, let me know. So we would look at tips when we were in high school.
By 2010, the high school kid is the Assistant Task Force Commander investigating Art Sloan.
This is the mitochondrial DNA which connected the two boys and the car.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Mitochondrial DNA is the maternal match. Somebody from the female side of the family.
The hair could match any one of a long list of relatives on the mother's side.
What's up, you know?
So it was like,
Bro, these dudes
I'm sorry,
selling me, bro.
I'm sorry,
It's
my
crazy.
dude. I'm sorry, dude. You just act like you grown man or something. That's my fault.
If the hair in Sloan's car is a DNA match,
You joining my neighborhood?
the Oakland County child care
Yeah.
may finally be solved.
Huh?
Yeah.
But it isn't. The hair doesn't belong to the now 7-year-old.
Matt, stay in your neighborhood,
It
alright?
belongs to someone who was a passenger in his car.
Just stay in your neighborhood. I'm going to join you.
The
Alright?
task force keeps that to themselves. Maybe Sloan knows
I'm
who the
loading in.
passenger is. He is currently serving a life sentence for raping the 10-year-old son of a coworker.
They interviewed him for like 3 hours and got nothing. We polygraphed him again, and that time he did not pass.
He failed the polygraph in reference to Timothy King.
My dad was one like a pro
We
too.
started hammering him on
My dad was
where
one
he
like a pro.
was during the homicide.
And I do in your neighborhood. I say what's what.
We had thought he was going to confess, but he didn't. He wouldn't confess to nothing.
All these
So
dudes.
who is
We
the
would.
mystery passenger that was riding in Sloan's Bonneville in the late 70s? Months of investigation into Sloan turned up nothing. The
You at the
Oakland
3
County
score at the
prosecutor,
2 score
Jessica
3.
Yeah, we just
Cooper,
lost, bro. Trash dudes, bro. I hate
want to
losing.
bring to the public's attention the significant rates in this case and ask for their help in identifying anyone known to be associated with this car.
Suddenly, in July 2012, Jessica Cooper holds a press conference with much fanfare, and she announces
Y'all just lost.
evidence
Yeah.
collected out of a tiny...
They sold me,
They
bro.
was
They
selling?
selling me. Yeah, they be selling me, bro.
Sloan is not the donor of the
Oh, they
hair
were selling?
found in the body
Yeah,
or the
always.
hairs found on the bodies of Mark Stebbins and Timothy King.
Releasing that information infuriates the task force. Any leverage they had with Sloan disappeared.
That was when things really blew up. Corey Williams and
Hey, bro.
investigators went through the roof. And now Art Sloan knew he didn't
You wanna play with me?
anything
We
because
went.
of his hair.
Oh, you right here.
People said at the time it was
I say you squad. You accept
She was
it?
running for
Yeah,
re-election.
send it to me.
To look like she was actively working this case.
A hotline has been set up. If anyone has information, they are encouraged to call 1.
What the prosecutor in Oakland County told the media and told the public about Art Sloan and about the hairs, I'm not going to go one step further than what she's already done.
And thank you very much for coming.
Jessica Cooper has declined all of our requests for an interview.
For the next 3 to 4 years, Corey Williams investigated every person that had ever come in contact with Art Sloan, and he was offered immunity if he would give any information that led to these children's crimes.
We told him we'd put him in any federal prison and put him in as a check fraud. You know, something totally unrelated to homicide. And he still wouldn't take it.
I think it's because he can't give up the source of that hair without implicating himself, and it's better to die in jail than to be known as Oakland County child killer.
During Robertson's interview, he revealed information about Sloan never made public. Until now.
We told him we've got DNA on you. His car. And he said he didn't own the car at the time. he had sold it to the son of a state police lieutenant.
It's a startling admission, and he doesn't stop there.
There was DNA found on Christine Mahalik's jacket, which was a maternal match to that family.
If what he says is true, then DNA from saliva found on Christine Mahalik's jacket.
Hey bro, I'm ball one. I can literally get a book bag. Hey bro, I'm gonna still be a punk, but I'm gonna go get a book bag, alright?
Alright.
You got a book bag already?
Yeah, I don't wear it.
You don't wear it?
Nah.
You should really try it. You should really try it. It's gonna be cool.
From the female side of the family.
I got my YouTube channel on the back of my jersey.
Match any of them, 100%. So.
I want to wear backpacks.
Well, I don't actually recall how we excluded him.
That is outrageous. We're hearing about this for the first time after you're retired, and you just toss it during a television interview? Or what have you done to investigate him? How is he connected, perhaps, with some of these pedophiles? Like, literally, let's go. What's the guy's name, and who is the lieutenant?
So we followed up. He said, I can't remember. But he stood by his story, and he said he would talk to his former partner about it. So then I called him back. He said I spoke to him, and he couldn't remember that. So I've obviously made a mistake.
No.
To get some
You can't remember? This guy's father was the head of the task force.
The current task force commander, Denise Powell, and Detective Corey Williams said Robertson's information isn't entirely correct.
You play twos? You play on twos, Court?
A trooper. But Detective Williams
you think we should play twos, Court?
We can.
Christine Mahalik's jacket.
Alright, we can try play the twos, Court.
Or anyone in his family to the crime.
Alright, let's play with twos, Court. We will.
Contradictory information. And years
I'm already at twos, Court.
Harder to know where.
Oh, it's open court. It's open court. It's open court. Nobody's not in it. Let's hop on it.
Police are not above cover-up.
Alright.
Part of me thinks
we should get squads or squads. Let's get squads. Squads.
And somebody involved in the investigation was being protected.
The elected police and criminal
investigators
don't trust anybody.
Oh, that's a trash center.
A teacher, man, woman, a priest, a preacher, maybe a reporter.
And now that puts you in the conspiracy theory camp. And that's a place I'm very uncomfortable being.
Okay. Why the center house? Oh, like.
When you're friends, they get comfortable all kinds of places.
Yo, he know you can shoot.
They also spread all kinds of germs. From cold and flu to stress and more. Rest easy no matter where they rest protection. Nothing kills more cold and flu viruses, including the COVID-19 virus.
Come on,
Second spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
I'm finna invite my friend, bro, to tell him to pull up.
What's so great about ducking at home?
Cause I want somebody to play with me.
You don't have to wear pants.
It's not letting me.
Yeah, go drink all the milk. Enjoy the great
Only a
taste of Dunkin'.
63 overall? Like me? I'm a 63 overall too.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing.
Please hop on center. Alright. And that boy just hopped off.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah, hit you there.
Alright, they got a lockdown.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Hear me?
Alright.
They got a lockdown. They got no center. I mean, they got a center, but they got a lockdown. You sticking a lockdown. Because I'm sticking a center, I know.
Okay.
I think we're gonna leave.
We'll try it. If it don't work out, it's okay. We're just gonna try it out.
Alright, we're gonna try.
Cause I got an offensive threat too. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of bills.
I got a paint be sticking.
This mattress burns your
Well.
Hurry
Hurry in for savings up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy. Get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy. Or get a Sealy mattress for
You're gonna have to try, bro. You're gonna have to try. Oh, he not playing? Why this man not playing? This man is not trying to play against us because he knows we're gonna win it. Don't be doing that. Whatever your name is. That's a bad shot.
You're the one we made my Walgreens for. Pick up in
Yo, good shot.
Get 30-minute pickup.
Go, you for the win.
Here's something to chew on. Are you ready for the
The big man, he's not trying to let his teammate win. They is not trying to win. They trying to let him lose. They trying to, hey bro, they not even trying. Like they got to try to win it. Don't double team me.
Oh, I missed. My fault. My fault, bro.
You good. He don't know how to clear the ball. Oh, I was about to say, boy.
Helps me conquer the day. And with so many products to choose from,
pass that ball. You're gonna have to pass that ball.
Their products are THC-free.
What?
Independent labs, and they're no guaranteed.
What? That's eyeball.
Hey, yo, for the pier lockdown, that boy, he's not
shipping.
I'ma just dunk on him there. He ain't gonna try.
never forget to look up her face.
I ain't got the
I'm trying to
C3.
get a book bag, bro. I'm trying to get a book bag. Oh yeah, boy, I'm
I stumbled upon Storyworth, and it changed our lives completely. The questions Storyworth sent us
Oh my
were
God.
questions that I didn't even know I needed to ask. We were able to
Ooh. You got that green. You got that green. We fun though. You gotta fit that pier lock. That boy can shoot, I think. I think he can shoot. The D. Oh, go passes. Like he thought we were gonna shoot a hook shot.
I keep
You got at
missing.
least grade one shot.
I know,
You got at
bro.
least grade one shot, boy.
I know, bro.
He sucked. That's D. What? He's shooting hook
It's cool.
shots.
It's cool. I missed that shot, bro.
This man is shooting close hook shots. This man sucks. He's
Bro, I
shooting close
missed,
hook
bro.
shots and stuff.
In
Yeah.
Oakland County Prosecutor Jessica Cooper's news conference in 2012, the case testimony.
Oh, what I mean to pass that right. That's great. Thank you.
There's all this secrecy around the case today.
That's urban legend stuff about cover-ups and conspiracies.
But you can understand why people would over a number of years ago, gee, it's been a long time.
Dang, they double teaming.
They double teaming you, bro.
But it's a very complex investigation.
They double teaming you.
Ooh. Let's go in game chat and see what they come in game chat, alright?
They ain't gonna come in now.
Really long open investigation.
Yeah, 42 years.
Huh?
That's good. Come on.
Common line is,
Alright, come on.
it's an ongoing investigation.
At least we still winning.
It's an ongoing investigation because that allows them to not have to comment on it.
That's all. What?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yo,
It's okay.
I really don't want to get fouled. Oh, they now they trying. They what?
That's what happened.
Oh, wow.
She left 7-Eleven and was never seen again, and she's
This
dead.
man just got his own rebound.
Sebastian. He shares his story for the first time.
He can post me up because he got that takeover.
I was 9, and I got a new bicycle for Christmas.
What's up,
So I
man?
rode my bicycle down to 7-Eleven, and as a young girl walked out of the store, she had the brown paper bag on
Oh my god.
and she just
They
walked
is
right
not
by the
good,
side of the
bro.
store.
Nope.
They is not good.
A person walked out of the store.
No way they's not good. That freak out here.
Turn look.
Get that. Oh my
This
god.
game, bro.
He didn't get into the police car, but he was in the police uniform
That's great.
and got in the car with Christine.
Hey, bro. He
At least I got an 8+.
And it wasn't until probably 2 days later.
Yo, I'm literally playing defense on him.
Christine was missing.
Thank you.
That I realized
Thank you. Let me get my takeover.
what I saw.
Get him. Let's go. This game.
I called that tip line.
I got tape on.
And the woman who answered the phone.
Oh my god.
And I was trying to tell her.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yo, that's crazy. He got a step wait so still. He crazy, They suck, man. They's not good. They's not good.
Nah, it's all good.
Give me that.
Nearly 3 months after his call to the tip line,
I got taken.
paid him a visit at school.
Detectives tormented me for 45 minutes.
Don't let that
They pushed my
peel.
head
That
down into the
peel.
desk, telling me that you
That
didn't
peel
see
locked
me.
it, not the score.
I was told that
Give me that.
my mother was going to go to jail.
Damn, come on. I got 0 steals.
Or orphanages. They told me if I were you,
Come on, I
I'd
got
go on for
0 steals.
This person is a...
Let's go!
Could be a public official, could even be police people.
Oh my
I thought
god,
you
you
can catch
should
I thought you can catch
You should have
ooze.
not throw the alley.
You can't catch no ooze. Dang. That'd have been perfect too.
Get him. He's something. They is not good. They is not good. Promise you, they not good. Yeah, man. I'm reaching on you. Are you reaching on you, bum? Let's go. Come on. I'm spamming it, bum. Heck, you talking about, boy? Gonna be doing that all game. Stick him!
He missed it, man. He's
Give me
okay.
that, give me that. Got it, rock. Go.
And they just look the other way. It's all been a big cover-up from the beginning.
Come here. You want some pork sauce?
Sebastian's account is one.
Come on,
Oh
bro.
my god, you keep missing threes.
I know, bro. Bro. That's tough.
You got 1 foul.
From investigators.
I don't
Come on. Related to wicked ceremonies.
Man, I go get my offensive threat, man. My shooter.
At one point, serial killer
He can shoot. Let's go.
Yeah.
Someone said he was in Michigan at the time of the murders, but that theory was ruled out.
And 1. Let's go.
Even the Unabomber.
10-20. Yeah.
These rumors start, we read them. We don't know any different because they don't tell us any different.
Oh.
Either they had the killer.
And 1.
Go crazy.
Or it was someone of authority that they could not arrest because they just couldn't go down that path.
Yo, they keep double teaming. Please, green. You got a green for me. I'm coming.
We missed, bro.
People that want to be angry, it's just that when it comes to us, we have to use evidence. We can't just go based on figures. I can't even imagine anybody would think that law enforcement officials would cover up a mistake rather than to move forward on the death of 4 children.
But mistakes were made.
Channel 7's Vince Wade has been following the case closely ever since it was revealed. He has this live report now.
Well, John, this computer printout sheet represents just a portion of the blue gremlins the police have been checking out in the Timmy King case.
One of the most sensational leads was the blue gremlin.
The gremlin originally came up on or about the time Timmy was abducted. A woman stated that she left the pharmacy
Birmingham police,
and
what?
a man talking to a boy, which
Yeah,
appeared to
Birmingham,
be
what's his
Timmy.
name?
And they were standing next to a gremlin.
Officers on the road are keeping a sharp lookout for the blue gremlin, wanted in connection with the killing.
Yeah, everybody loves the gremlins. I mean, that's like seared into my memory. And probably anybody lived through that.
We had so many gremlins stopped. The one individual, I think, had been stopped 23 times.
Hey, bro.
Yo.
I'm gonna go eat, alright?
Alright.
I'll be right back.
There were clues in the snow where the third victim was found.
When Christine Mahalik's body was found, there was no witness on that road. That's where I saw the impression in the snowbank. It was the only thing we had. So you take that impression as you would a footprint. The front corner of the car had the turret, like a bullet turret, that went into the snowbank. He backed up and slammed into the car using this. Completed his turnaround, and the body was here.
That impression was not the bumper of a gremlin, but the bumper of a mid-60s Pontiac Tempest.
That's a drawing I did of the impression in the snowbank. And this is the exhaust pipe, a large 2-inch exhaust pipe. And on the Gremlin, it's over here and it's about 3/4 of an inch.
An eyewitness at the site of where the second victim, Jill Robinson, was found actually saw a Le Mans.
He knew that that's what the car was because he had owned one.
A Tempest and Le Mans look similar. In fact, it's unlikely a gremlin was involved at all.
Tim King's brother says the Blue Gremlin is a goose chase because later that night, when everybody was out looking for Timothy King, Chris King saw the Blue Gremlin. It was parked over here.
It was still there at 11 p.m. And it had been there the whole time because there was even frost on the windshield from where the sun had been. Of course, the initial news reports are like, he was seen driving the Gremlin. They start getting it wrong.
It became such a focus on the Gremlin that it was to the detriment of other theories.
As it was, we were looking for one car. In my opinion, we were looking for the wrong one.
You don't know how this works, do you?
It's my first day. You coming?
Your mission. Stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. When RA, the overactive immune system, attacks your joint, Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious infections and blood clots, sometimes fatal, have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
Gigi's mashed potatoes. And Steph's apple pie. Even if your loved ones can't make it for the holidays, their dishes can still make it to the table. It's gonna be great. McCormick, by your side for over 130 holiday seasons.
Our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water.
Now try Nestle Pure Life Plus, water enhanced with minerals and a splash of flavor.
So, yeah, just a silly mistake. I guess I look pretty ridiculous.
No one looks ridiculous, Bob. Progressive is always here for you with round-the-clock service.
Just so you know, next time you can submit a claim with our mobile app.
Good. Thanks again for rushing over.
Are you kidding? This is what 24/7 protection looks like.
You smell like fish.
Sorry.
I was talking to Jamie.
Make sure you stream from a safe place. The greatest collection of true crime only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
I won these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Oh man, all out of bourbon.
Looks like one of us is gonna have to go to the store.
Or we can get drinks delivered fast at Drizzly. Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Plus, Drizzly lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products. Drizzly. So keep your night on pod with Drizzly.
Drizzly.
I've never used anything besides an electric can opener.
Flash, opening cans 101. It's back in session. What the hell? Carla Hall, Jones, and Burrell. Season premiere. First time in America.
I thought y'all go past, go past.
We were for the All-American Way.
You sure missed. I can shoot too, that's crazy. And I got all my badges, so.
She just knew she was on something.
There was detachment, there was avoidance. You just never know what evil lurks just right next to you.
American Monster. All new Sundays at 9. Only on ID.
Whether the original investigators focused on a gremlin or some other car, the current task force commander says the car won't identify the killer's now.
There's evidence, there's records and statements and witness accounts of different cars. But there's nothing to prove that this body was thrown out of this car.
Sure.
Just because they drove a particular car, most of the time it's not a very good lead for us. People mistake cars, mistake the color, mistake the model, the make, and
Take it, man.
think that the gremlin may have done.
We want to throw you the oop, man, but you know how this game be acting.
What have been the major options?
That's probably.
Well, I think the real basic thing is the lack of clues to work with.
Lack of clues, lack of experience, or simply lack of tools.
I just don't think they have the evidence.
Okay.
It was just 3 letters of the alphabet back then.
The forensics you had back then, like, what did you have? Like,
Fingerprints, fibers. The forensic capability wasn't there that we have today to track some of these suspects.
At times, the detective force numbered 200, representing 50 police agencies in 2 counties.
Some of those communities.
Damn it, I ran from over there. Oh, yeah.
Lack of experience played a big role.
We made mistakes. The mistakes are going to be there. But let's take what we have and see if we can present something new.
I think these were good cops, smart cops, who didn't have all the information, or were led astray by their superiors, or knew exactly what was going on and had no choice but to step back from it.
I was just finna cut too.
The power structure be what it was.
You good. I was just finna cut on him, bro.
The county prosecutor discounted Christopher Bush as a suspect. Was that also a mistake?
Shoot.
I had a very long interview with Jessica Cooper.
What is this game, bro? This game, bro. How was both of us running over there and they make us the ball run right past both of us?
Investigation of Bush was very conclusionary, based on a lot of theory, and were she to take it into court today, she couldn't prove anything.
Anyone that says that Bush and Green lead at that time was not a good lead is either goofy.
You hit that though?
Shouldn't be in law enforcement or has something to hide. They can't be eliminated. Just because they didn't match a hair out of Sloan's car doesn't mean they're not involved in the case. Their culpability could be anything.
That's good tape.
Gregory Green passed the polygraph about Mark Stebbins' murder back in 1977. Green died in prison in 1995, but his cellmate told the detective he made what sounded like a deathbed confession.
And they weren't only cellmates, they were lovers. And he was crying, and he told us that Greg Green had told him at one point about all the kids he molested, and that he had been involved in killing 4 kids, that he got away with it. So, absolutely.
Over 4 decades, 5 men are still eyed as potentially having been involved in the murders. Arch Sloan, Christopher Bush, Gregory Green, Ted Lamborghini, and Vince Gummers. 4 of those 5 men are convicted pedophiles.
A lot of these players are linked to their common disturbing quality of being pedophiles. There was a very obvious...
I still supposed to got that rebound. It's crazy.
Criminologists and caught, Michael Armfield heads up the Cold Case Society at Western University and works with the Murder Accountability Project in Washington.
What we do is we use new and emerging technologies and investigative methodologies, cutting-edge stuff, to try to get to the bottom of some failed investigations, some unsolved cases, typically serial killer cases.
His case study in 2012 zeroed in on the Oakland County child murders.
This was a case that I thought deserved a fair
I'm nailed too, that's crazy.
To get it back in the public eye. There's significant evidence to suggest that, in part because of the prolonged nature of the captivity that the children were held, that we're dealing with two or more offenders.
All of the information I've looked at has all continuously leading back to Christopher Bush as the prime suspect. That said, there's all this other stuff that's going around. We have a hair
straight, that was a good shot.
By Art Sloan that matches hair found on Timothy King and on Matt Stubbins.
I got him.
Not Art Sloan's hair. There's somebody else. There's a hair on Christine Mihalik's body that is a match to the son.
I think, given the number of people who are affiliated with either Bush or Sloan, there's a host of persons of interest who are in play at any given time.
Yeah.
What it tells me that this is yet another case that falls squarely within the era of the teen killer in the 1970s. Teen killers since about 1850 in the United States are responsible for roughly 15% of all serial murders. They tend to be very opportunistic, and that to me is the most plausible scenario in this, looking at hundreds of scenarios.
Oh, I should have dunked on his ass. I'm supposed to dunk on him, bro. And I got the badge on. I'm supposed to dunk on him.
The same person probably killed his kids. There are a number of things happening to him during their captivity that multiple people are complicit in.
He passed. It still was slightly late though, that's crazy.
The greatest collection of true crime only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
The sun is pretty incredible. It makes Lipton green tea better and there's lemon better, which
Let's go.
tastes better. You definitely need the sun for that. And that. With antioxidant vitamin C and 50% fewer calories. Choose Lipton green tea today.
Nice hat.
What's all this?
I shouldn't have even tried to help out, bro. That is crazy, man. Bro, I'm supposed to smother that bitch, bro. That's the AI I'm supposed to block there.
But it's all about giving. The best gift is you. Oh, so I'm the gift.
Shot.
Happy holidays from Planters.
I fouled him. Damn, I tried to get that read.
We're going skating. We're going banana. Wherever you go this holiday, Chevy can help you get there. Which is why we're making our Chevy employee discount available to everyone.
The service price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more.
Good shot.
Wherever you go, happy holidays from Chevy.
Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to get over $6,800 for low MSRP on discount.
What the fuck is up with this game, bro? Good pass, bro. I take that. Oh, the steal. I ain't missing no more, bro. What's up? Hate losing. Come on. Good D. Bro, this cat. I'm running away from 91 and he hit me with the ball. Good D.
Don't believe us? See that for details.
I see you. I promise you I see you. It's all good. I see you.
Life takes off your skin strength. That's why we made Angel Soft Mega with more of the value you already love.
He ain't going nowhere, brother.
$75, $50.
Got spotted $75.
$75 before payday.
Buying groceries.
Gas money, please. With no interest and no credit check.
Dave, banking for human.
Get 5G nationwide. Plus, massive data. Plus, mix and match to get more of what you need. All for as low as $30 a month. From Verizon, the network businesses rely on.
Come on, 2K. I'm about to call these fools, bro. Come on. Bro, I got all my badges, bro. Ben had all of them, bro. I just play the game for fun. I got me missing bullshit shots. You good? I'm back. I'm good. I'm back. That's tough.
The poppable snack that's easy to eat because it's Tortinos. So game over, buy Tortinos and get bonus in-game content. One small town, two big dreamers. There you go. To be a part of something like this. Wow.
It's a great honor.
I got you, good dog. If I ain't missing, if I'm missing, I'm gonna pass that bitch. I ain't gonna keep jacking them shots. Shit, I got you.
Poster children for the All-Americans Way of Life.
Good D. That's me, bro. And that's his only shot I left him open, bro.
There was detachment, there was avoidance.
Good pass out.
What evil lurks just right next door to you.
I'm gonna make him fall out here. Keep playing. Good take.
More than 100 detectives working on the case now reported 3 other murders of children in Oakland County are connected to the same sick individual.
What the fuck was
You feel that we're looking for one man for
If the same people that all 4 of these victims, there's no reason to believe that they could take all that time to do it except they were employed without having help. You know, this was a 24-hour-a-day thing. And that's pretty hard for one person to do.
Hey, I thought they would have fouled you by then, bro. That's crazy.
That's what I was hoping was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna foul him. Oh, you ain't scoring no more now. You can get your one little shot in, but. Over 3, okay.
The question then is, could Gunnels have been used as someone to lure victims?
Vince Gunnels hung around with Bush and Green. Does that explain how his hair got on Christine McCullough's jacket?
Gunnels went out. Why did his hair end up on one of the bodies? He says, well, I was in Christopher Bush's car a lot.
Gunnels wasn't the only kid riding around with Bush and Green.
Good steal, good take.
Told us that they'd have him hang out the passenger side of the car. He was only 12 or 13 at the time. He called kids over to the car so that Bush or Green could get a better look at the kid to see whether they liked them.
Everyone in this group of people seemed to have some role to play, including our stroke, maybe just lent his vehicle to whoever actually did the abductions.
My fault, y'all. I'm 0 for 3 from 3-point line, y'all. My fault. Don't think I can't shoot. I can, I'm just missing. I'm 1 for 5 and 0 for 3, bro. It's crazy.
After being abducted, the kids were held for 19 days.
There were a number of things happening to these children during their captivity. I think at this point it's pretty clear that multiple people were involved in these killings. In the past, if we get somebody to admit it.
It got a little ugly down there.
2 boys and 2 girls. The boys were sexually assaulted. The girls were not.
What we're dealing with is people who are so aroused by the infliction of terror, pain, and humiliation that it ultimately doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. They simply, and it sounds absolutely terrifying to think about, a warm body of an appropriate size and shape that they can control and cause harm to is all they're looking for.
At the time, multiple pedophile rings were operating in Detroit and throughout Michigan.
These guys were known to swat their kids around. They would trade their youngsters off to a whole group.
Bad.
I learned how far-reaching these pedophile rings are in these different communities and how
He better guard up, bro, because I ain't kill him either way.
Structure amongst the pedophiles. One of the pedophiles.
The D, all the way.
Do more about the operation and organize these meetings and parties, and this is all through witnesses in the interview.
One of the notorious pedophiles in the tax corridor is former auto worker and convicted child molester Ted Lamborghini. Once a suspect in the murder,
Alright,
he is known to
so
have hosted secret parties in Detroit.
I had to trail them just in case. You know, they'll make you miss layups and dunks. Shit.
One time, he and Lamborghini were at Bob Moore's house, and Bob Moore had a photo of him that had child pictures in it. And that Lamborghini said to Lawson, "Does that not look like the King kid?" and kind of snickered.
There was a very obvious...
I see you over there. You just gotta be ready to shoot. I see you. I promise you that.
Ted Lamborghini was associated with that. Way up north in Fox Island, we had Frank Sheldon, Jerry Richards, as child pornographers and pedophiles. And somewhere over here...
Man, don't flop. It was still a good shot. You just missed it. It's okay. Come on.
North Fox Island, I think, is even more atrocious than what they were doing down here with these 4 children. There was major pedophile activities by prominent adults, and I don't know why they should be excluded from Timmy's case.
Someone involved in that ring may very well know more than they let on. And I wonder if an opportunity in taking down that ring on Fox Island was missed by not leveraging.
Let's go.
Only physical evidence can prove if the group theory is correct. The owner of the one hair found in Art Stone's car in the very beginning could unlock this long overdue mystery and reveal the secrets he's kept for years.
This is not someone who's just riding around in his car. His hair is actually found in the king, which means that Timothy was naked and this person was in contact with him at the time.
Was he another member of the pedophile ring? Or could he be the cop Sebastian claims took Christine Mihalik away?
Shut.
A pedophile cop tied in with the other suspects.
That's always been my first thought. Someone dirty in law enforcement, caught up in a pedophilia ring that was running the gamut at that time. Law enforcement was frustrated, and law enforcement
you feel me? As a block.
And then started to cover it up.
So if someone in law enforcement did it, why do the suspects in prison remain silent?
Ted Lamborghini is offered a plea deal simply to take a polygraph in relation to the EOCK murder. He takes the full sentence. He would rather be in jail than take the polygraph with respect to the crime. So those questions scared him enough that he would rather get rot in prison.
Sloan also found that instead of making a deal with police, what are they afraid of? The mystery man whose hair was found in Sloan's Pontiac?
Whoever this unknown subject is probably someone. One explanation was that Bush was looking at facing further sex charges and was looking to maybe play let's make a deal. And
that's a lie, bro.
Suicide may have been done actually.
That's hope the green.
This unknown offender to essentially keep his involvement a secret and keep Bush silent forever. We don't know. But that person is out there today and is the one name brought up yet.
None of the 5 main suspects has ever been murders. Ted Lamborghini, Vince Gunnels, and Art Sloan are still alive and maintain they weren't involved. Artel stands by his theory that Christopher Bush played a major role in these crimes.
The best analogy I can come up with is Bush and Green with one or more of the others, including perhaps Gunnels, Lamborghini, and using Sloan's vehicle. All these people are spokes for
corner.
Is the hub of the wheel to which all these spokes connect.
I couldn't get it over there.
It is the common denominator, and the one that ends up under
Bro, he trash.
His family had plenty of money to mount a
Man, outrun me, bro.
And, yeah, having money helps a lot, you know, when you're a suspect in a crime.
Christopher Bush may not have been the murderer, but if he wasn't...
You talking about having all your badges and missing layups and jump shots, bro.
Delivered him to this pedophile ring.
It's ridiculous.
When the information was published, Tim Nummer knocked on my front door, identified himself as a former hockey teammate of Timmy's. And he sat down in my living room, and he said in the early 90s he was working at a clothing store. And he had a number
Hey, shoot out, big man.
And he asked one of them one evening what was the subject of his case.
Bro, he done had his badge on so long, bro. And I can't get it to him. I'm on the other side of the court. Gotta feed the hot man with the badge on.
I don't need a prosecutor to tell me whether Christopher Bush is guilty of association in some way with Oakland County child killings. I know that he is. If put on trial today, Christopher Bush and Gregory Green would be doing time for those killings. There is enough evidence on Christopher Bush and Gregory Green, at the very least, those two, to be doing time for those killings.
Straight.
May come down to identifying an owner of a single hair left in the car of the very first suspect.
If you find out who the hair belongs to, you're going to have your guy.
Sure. You good. You was open, bro. We can't hit them all. You just gotta take them when you're open, bro. So this, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. See, I don't play with a jump shot meter, so. Take.
That's why the networks of Discovery and No Kid Hungry are working together to help kids in need.
You good? Come on. I just shouldn't have missed those shots I'm missing, but shit, it's all good. Hey. That's deep, bro.
Try the automated easy find list system.
With Metro by T-Mobile, Hector rules his holiday. This year,
Good D.
putting in the extra mile.
He went up for that.
Something special. So nothing gets in the way.
He bumped me, bro. That's tough. That's tough, D.
This season, there's 0 fees for Switch. Get our lowest price on unlimited, just $25 a line for 4 months. Plus 4 free Galaxy phones. Metro by T-Mobile, empowering Hector to rule his holiday.
A good way to manipulate that on defense, too. The way you got back, that's what's up.
From cold and flu to stress.
I was gonna hold both of them. I'll try to.
Rest easy no matter where they rest protection. Nothing kills more cold and viruses, including the COVID-19 virus, and more surfaces than Lysol disinfecting spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
Nah, you ain't getting no more shots. Sorry.
With a minty flavored dark chocolate delicious twist.
Bro!
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Dr. Townhouse Croppers, I'm craving adventure.
With me, the possibilities are endless.
No! This game is ass for that, bro. Thank you, bro. This game ass for that, bro.
Hurry in for savings up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy. Or get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $9.99. Only at Mattress Firm.
We're good, bro. They're just hoeing me, bro. They got me taking bullshit shots.
You don't have to wear pants. Okay, we drank all the milk. Enjoy the great taste of Dunkin' at home. All right.
We can break this down.
Pass.
That's it. Crushed out to the mail. There it was. Medical bills for $1,200. I had no idea I'd have to pay.
That's right. It's hard to know exactly what your health insurance is going to cover, so you gotta protect your blind side. Aflac pays you money directly to help with the...
Good D. Good D.
Get help with expenses. Health insurance doesn't cover. Get to know.
Everybody spam triangle.
HGTV can give you away $10,000. Watch for the special code word. All part of HGTV's great holiday gift.
He stole that?
Only at HGTV.
He stole that? That's tough. I got him. He ain't doing nothing, bro. I promise you.
Why would a guy who had it all up until his best friend?
D.
I don't care who you have, go get Jodi Arias. She did this. Shanann, if you're out there, just come back.
Stream what you love. The greatest collection of true crime only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
Do you think that this case
Good timeout.
No. I think that...
I was going to say we could have called it when he was at the free throw line.
The information is out there, and we're trying to coach somebody to come forward. We got to catch that man because we're running out of time before he does it again.
Shot. I got you, bro. You got to do is take the shot. I promise you.
41 years later, I know the parents not giving up hope.
I'm gonna give it to you every time.
50, 60 years.
I'm just a manipulating bill, bro. Like,
Do you think this case will ever be solved?
I don't think they want to.
It would have been solved by now. And I hate saying that because I would like to see Barry King and the other families get justice.
We love you, Tim. God bless you. Stay tough. Say your prayers and we're with you, buddy.
Always will.
bro, I didn't even know you had got ripped, bro.
But there's nothing I can do about it.
If you pass away and you're in heaven, then you have your answers. And that may be the only way.
There may
Shot.
be another way. In 2018, a new combination of DNA analysis and genealogy led police in California to the doorstep of a man suspected of being a serial murderer that eluded them for 40 years.
He's running the time out.
The Golden State Killer.
We found the
Damn, bro. He's so fucking trash, bro. They gonna run the time out, bro?
D'Angelo is thought to have carried out 13 murders, 50 rapes, and over 100 home invasions. He's currently awaiting trial. The police identified D'Angelo by linking DNA evidence from the crime scene to genetic data from one of his relatives submitted to a public DNA database. Created to help people find relatives and ancestors, the website instead
It's all good.
to the most likely families of the killer.
They submitted the suspect DNA under a false profile and then got genealogical matches. You know, you'll get a, hey, you've got more relatives. So they got relative hits and that gave them a path to begin to investigate.
They developed a family tree and observed that their suspect had been a police officer where all these crimes had been committed. So they just needed his DNA and he matched.
Could the same strategy identify the using the hairs he left behind on the two boys and in the back of Armstrong's car? It's possible, but to date, the task force has only mitochondrial DNA, not nuclear. It means genealogy will trace the maternal ancestry of the hairs and create a huge pool of possible candidates.
the mitochondrial, it just may come up with too many possibilities, maybe even thousands of possible relatives, and they won't be able to narrow it down.
To date, no match to the hair has been found, but like the Golden State Killer case, it could take years to zero in on a suspect. And short of a conviction, it's the best hope, unless nuclear DNA is recovered.
They should be doing all of the autopsy tests to see if maybe there is nuclear DNA.
Maybe that's already in play.
Okay.
Well, our Corey.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks.
All I can say about our case is that I'm not currently in contact with the FBI lab and also the state police lab, and we're all talking about it. I can't say more.
That's probably my last one.
Okay, see you, Corey.
It would be fantastic to be able to face the families and say, this is what happened to your children, and it would mean everything to me to do that.
The only hopes we have are lightning strikes in the DNA. And someone coming forward. Because someone out there knows. That's the only reason I'm doing this show, is because I've given up. But someone out there knows. They have to come forward.
They say, you know, of the victims of unsolved crimes that the knowing breaks your heart. But the knowing robs you of peace.
It's one of those things that never goes away. I'm stuck thinking about it every morning and every evening.
So many people say, well, you know, if this case is solved, you know, it'll bring closure. Well, I'm like, what is closure? My daughter was kidnapped. My daughter was murdered. You know, how do you close that off? You know, you don't. I mean, there isn't a night that I don't go to bed. And I think, you know, dear Lord, why didn't you take me? Why would you take an innocent?
You take it home. The case goes with you, not the cross. I don't care who solves it. I just would like to see it solved.
We need to still fight for everything. But if we don't get that one tidy bow that wraps it all up, I don't think that necessarily matters, because if I were one of the family members of the victims, I think I could rest knowing that
Oh, it's a bad shot. That bitch, we still went in.
the bow would be
That was a bad shot.
I'd like to make an appeal to your audience that even the smallest thing that they hear from this that sparks something in their mind, don't hesitate to call us.
He trash, bro. He trying to hold me, bro. He trash, bro. Stop playing with me.
We want to hear it.
Well, I hope our show helps you solve the case, Corey.
I hope so too.
Well, it is for me. I'm 87. And I don't think as quickly as I used to.
You don't force that shot, bro. You trash. Come on.
But I'd just like to know who did it. And if anybody covered up for who did it, I'd like to see them run. I'd like to see them run shot.
You good? You good? You good?
I don't know who got it.
Me? You straight, you straight. You couldn't expect him to get back there that fast. Straight. Ooh, he big.
of certain age, they know the story. I'm in Detroit, you know the story. Detroit over there knows the story. Detroit over there knows the story. And we all bond over the story when we talk about it. Hey, remember the open front child care? Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my. Oh man. I'm my bad, y'all. I can't believe they made me miss that. This game is tough.
Someone has gotten away with murder and
I got read.
Others have gotten away with a massive child abuse ring.
Yeah, this Joe don't come to this island and have sex with a child. I could rip this cabinet down. I could destroy this cabinet.
I supposed to get that rebound, bruh.
Some of the same people were involved.
I get boys, bruh. Let's go.
A brand new two-part investigation started by one kid who got away.
When I was 7 years old, somebody tried to abduct me. All of the things that happened to those kids could have happened to me.
We'll unpack shocking
Who did?
I came across this cataloging event and it blocked me in insurance.
where cover-ups exposed.
This case has been solved 3 decades ago. In fact, this case maybe was solved 3 decades ago.
Asylums are finally Johnson.
This game is tough, bro.
Frustrating trip for a sex offender has been pressed for the past 16 months. 4 children have been murdered, the last in March.
He know I ain't gonna let him shoot. That's why he driving that whole in. I'm sorry.
When I was 7 years old, somebody tried to abduct me.
J. William Appleman was a kid in the suburbs of Detroit in the late 1970s when he encountered a stranger.
He had sideburns, his hair was thin, dark eyes, dark hair. The guy pulled up in a little car. He opened the door. He reached over.
Man, one. I get boys, bro. Man, one. Let's go, y'all. They ain't losing. They trash, man.
To the Oakland County Child Killer. I could have been all of the things that happened to those kids could have happened.
My man shooting a little 2-pointers, bro. I'll take a 2 over a 3 any day. I'm not letting him shoot no 3s.
It never really occurred to me until I was raising my own kids. The gravity of that moment for me. I got out of bed.
Look at that, bro. 2-pointer.
And I just started Googling the Oakland County Child Killer.
It triggered an investigative obsession.
In 2005, when I started digging into this case, the internet was sort of aflame. You could finally get online and search for everything.
Shot.
I thought anybody would solve a murder case. You just gotta bury yourself in the evidence for long enough, and you'll figure it out. I want to know who killed those 4 kids. I just decided I have to solve this.
His amateur investigation has consumed 13 years of his life. The deeper he delved, the more and more violent the story got.
The Oakland County Child Killer case is a nightmare. But once you accept that, there's nothing else to do around it.
Today, Appleman and the family of one of the victims think they
that was a good shot.
For 30 years.
It's all good. We playing defense, so straight.
Catch the killer. We caught the killer. Let him go till we're
And long-time
so we'll take that.
Lori Williams is determined to win the case.
As of now, I am the longest serving detective in the case. And proud to be. Our goal is to solve the case and to be able to tell the victims' families after so long. That would be amazing. Sorry.
I got you.
It all started on this street in Ferndale, Michigan in 1976.
Right here is where Mark Stebbins started his journey home after visiting with his mother at his nursing home.
I'm there, boy. Stop playing with me.
Mark wanted to leave because there was a war Navy coming on.
Mark is a quiet, likable kid. He collects toy soldiers and loves all things military.
He wanted to grow up and go into the Marine Corps. He's like, that's what I want to do.
It's a 3-block walk home from the Legion, and it's broad daylight.
No, this isn't a bustling city full of strangers. This is a tiny little rural America intersection.
I got you, bro. No biggie. Hey, it's all good, bro. I see you open. If I can get it to you, I'm gonna give it to you. I got all my badges. I just play this shit for fun.
I don't know, Mom. He's not here. And I tried to
That's a steal, bro.
Nobody is
Steal. Come on, 2K.
10 hours later, still no Mark. His mother really calls the police. There hasn't been a kidnapping in Ferndale in 10 years, they assured her. Mark's description goes out to the police radio. Just under 5 feet tall, red blonde hair and blue eyes. They launched a
You can't check me, bro. You cannot check. You can try it, though.
12-year-old Mark Stebbins, 429 East Saratoga, Ferndale, was found
Oh, that was a steal.
rear of a parking lot
Good defense. That's still good defense. That's good defense.
I hate to use the word his body was dumped. It was on 10 Mile, about 100 yards west of Greenfield.
He was 3
And one.
miles from home.
And there was a wall between a shopping center and some
We done.
buildings. And he was placed in a snowbank next to this wall. He was fully clothed, wearing a blue parka and blue jeans.
The autopsy found Mark was smothered to death. There were ropes around his neck,
That's a lie.
wrists, and ankles, and he'd been sodomized.
So we knew it was a little more than just an abduction killing.
Just a few weeks earlier, Warren Dillon had been promoted from patrol officer to detective.
I was still a new detective, and I was learning as I was going.
Detective Dillon gets a
That's a steal, bro.
parole officer to check out a recently released prisoner, 34-year-old Art Sloan. Convicted of sodomy in Pennsylvania, Sloan was now living in Southfield and working as a tow truck driver and mechanic in nearby Farmington Hills.
They took tapings of his car to get fiber evidence in any case that they had, and they stored it away.
But no physical evidence ties Sloan to Mark's murder. After months, the police have no clues, no witnesses, and no suspects. His murder seems utterly random.
We had no information beyond the fact that a child was walking down the street, disappeared, and then his body was found.
The whole family fell apart at the time. Myself, my mother.
You still think about it? Well, I gotta get out of my mind.
It impacted her pretty hard, and she fell into bad health. I totally kicked myself in the butt. If I would have walked home with him, we may have made it home safe. Everybody wanted to solve this really bad. At that time, of course, we didn't know that this was going to blossom like it did.
That's still a good shot. I'm gonna give it to you every time. All they gonna do is try to draw into me, bro. They don't know what I'm gonna do. I can beat them off the speed. I can shoot. I can dunk.
Taken to the hospital. Eddie's mother calls the police. The man arrested is a gym teacher and the director of a boys' camp for troubled teens on an isolated island in Lake Michigan. What state police learned opened the
That big man quit after all the shots he missed, bro. Quit on us. It's tough.
It was a front for pedophiles, and it was a front for pedophiles
Get out of here.
and child pornography.
One small Michigan newspaper reporter got the tip, but it would take years to unravel.
It was one of those things where the deeper she dug, the more dirt she found. These were bad guys. These were bad people.
All of that is in the unraveling of the Logan County child killer case. It is exactly the worst that you can imagine.
5 hours south in Oakland County, the police investigating Mark's murder had no idea there was any connection to North Fox Island.
I was not aware of that. I mean, I was completely tuned into what was happening right here in Oakland County.
And Subaru will donate $250 to charity.
limo. Our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water. Now try Nestle Pure Life Plus. Water enhanced with minerals and a splash of filter.
Call for it.
When they're sick, they get comfortable all kinds of places. They spread all kinds of germs. From cold to flu to stress and more. Rest easy no matter where they rest. Protection. Nothing kills more cold and flu viruses, including the COVID-19 virus, on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
It's Mattress Firm's year-end sale. Hurry in for savings up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy.
I got you, bro.
Adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy, or get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $299.99. Only at Mattress Firm. With Metro by T-Mobile, the rule is hard. This year, keep putting in the extra mile. All right, take care of it. And saving up for something special. So nothing gets in the way of their holiday. You work hard. Switching to Metro isn't. This season, there's 0 fees to switch. Get our lowest price unlimited. Just $25 a line for 4 months. Plus 4 free Galaxy phones. Metro by T-Mobile. Empowering Hector to rule his holiday.
Get this, I have my Stouffer's bowl full and a fried chicken mashed potato pork full, for which I'm thankful.
Good thing, because we have a freezer full.
I think that's wonderful.
Oh. Here's something to chew on. Are you ready for the most scrumptious gummy vitamins with extraordinary flavors? Something that's deliciously healthy and it doesn't have to break the bank? Vitavision gummy vitamins. Something worth chewing on.
Verizon 5G is here with the coverage of 5G nationwide.
Supposed to hit corner. My fault, bro. Should have got these quick enough. What? Late? I shouldn't have missed that shot anyway. That's the AI, it's all good. Watch, big man. Pass.
Make sure you stream from a safe place.
Stop fouling me, bro.
Only on Discovery Plus. Streaming January 4th.
As police in Oakland County continue to hunt for Mark Stebbins' killer, Michigan State
That's a good take. Shit, they gave it to you.
Uncover the grotesque goings on at North Lost Island, the boys' camp for troubled teens.
On the island, those boys would be routinely molested, photographed while being molested, and kept basically in a sort of captivity until
Damn, he went and got. I didn't know he was gonna get that hoe.
And lifelong bachelor, Francis Sheldon.
Francis Sheldon was from a very wealthy and prominent East Side of Detroit family. And in 1959, he bought Fox Island, and he said he was going to build vacation homes. But instead,
We finna come
he
back.
turned the cabins and all the buildings he bought there into a place where he could bring kids and sell them and molest them.
The camp operated for 2
I'll tell you.
in 1975 and 76. Eventually, an arrest warrant goes out for Sheldon for 2 counts of sexual abuse. But by then, he's cleaned out his Ann Arbor home and fled in his private plane.
go.
There you go, over the back, over the back.
Fox Island were roughly the same age as Mark Stebbins. We know that the men that traveled up to Fox also operated Detroit and throughout the suburbs surrounding Detroit. And we can say nobody made any connection between the abduction of Mark Stebbins and the North Fox Island. I think it is not necessarily believable. They all knew each other, they all depended on each other, because it's a community of people operating to industrialize the molestation and photography of children.
Police continue to investigate North Fox Island, while the mystery in Oakland County is about to grow worse.
Man, come on, bruh.
In the suburb just north of Ferndale, Carol Robinson and her 12-year-old daughter Jill.
They really got me missing this bullshit, man.
Asked her to help with dinner, and she refused, and said she didn't want to be here, and it just made us not even mark again. I just think I had it. I just said, well, Jill,
That shit out of him.
why don't you just get your coat on and stand out in the front yard and think about it, and when you feel like talking about it, come on back in.
Jill packed a bag, put her little book in her backpack, and rode out in the middle of the night to go and see her dad. Her dad, Tom, an English teacher, lives a few miles away in Birmingham. The two never arrived. And shortly before midnight, Tom calls the police. A family friend says they saw Jill hurtling northward on Woodward Avenue around 7:30, about an hour after she left home. Other than that, the police have nothing. And like Mark Stebbins, Jill Robinson just seemed to have vanished. It's the day after Christmas. A motorist on I-75 near Troy spot something in the snow on the side of the road. The body of 6th grader Jill Robinson. Jill was laying on her back full of clothes and wearing her blue knapsack. There was a gunshot wound to her face. Unlike Mark Stebbins, the autopsy revealed Jill hadn't been sexually molested. She'd been shot at close range at the spot where her body was found.
Some people believe this means she wasn't asphyxiated. Some people believe this means that she wasn't victim to the alleged Oakland County child killer. Other people, like retired cop Jack Kalfleisch, an original task force member, believes no, she probably was asphyxiated.
When a person is suffocated, there's still a certain amount of oxygen in the lungs. I believe when she was dropped, the pressure on the backpack caused her to make a moaning sound as the oxygen escaped. At that point, he shot her to make sure she was dead.
Oh, asshole.
The autopsy also revealed that wherever Jill had been held for the past 3 days, someone had washed her clothes and fed her.
This was a bad period. It's one of those things that never goes away. I'm stuck thinking about it every morning and every evening.
Both the Troy and Royal Oak police talked to her family and friends. No one knows where or who might have done this. The only lead? A witness report seeing the light blue Pontiac Lamont stopped on the side of I-75 where Jill's body was found.
As they approached the platform from the side of the road,
Straight.
and after they passed,
Oh, I thought y'all were gonna throw a oop or something. Dang.
in to the side of the road on 16 and I-75.
We talked to Jack Kalfleisch, and he'll tell you time and again that he tried to get this lead looked at. There's plenty of documentation that says this lead.
I gave it to you too late, my fault.
And so you wonder why it wasn't looked at greater length.
The day is Sunday, the second day of January 1977. Christine Mihalich wanted to go to a party store just a few blocks from her home in Berkeley.
Christmas decorations down,
and Chris had asked if she could walk to 7-Eleven to buy a teen magazine for her. And I told her no, because she had to cross 12.
No, nigga, no.
I know.
And I remember her saying to me, well, I did you a favor. And she said, well, you know, won't you do this for me? I said, if you go to the light and promise me you'll cross at the light, I said, I'll let you go.
The store is just a few blocks from the house. Debbie figures Chris will be home within half an hour. After an hour, though, there's no sign of Christine.
And I thought, well, maybe she ran into her dad and he picked her up and they just forgot to give me a call. It was getting dark, and that's when I really became concerned.
Debbie reports her daughter missing to the Berkeley police.
They just took the information and they told me they were going to put it on the 11 o'clock news. And that always struck me kind of odd that they were so quick to get that out on the news. It never entered my mind really that she was kidnapped. You know, you just don't think in those terms.
The police retraced her last known steps.
We know that she made it to the 7-Eleven store because the clerk did get a statement that she made it there.
And that was the last she was seen.
I never connected it with Jill. I knew it was Mark. Or Brandy, but she was going to show up. But after the first 24 hours, then, you know, imagination goes wild. And then,
Oh, I'm trying to pass the ball to one of y'all. Damn.
You know, something tragic.
Shit almost made me lose my takeover trying to pass the damn ball.
Christine was the third child to go missing in Oakland County in almost 11 months, and the first two were murdered.
My boss and I, we started thinking maybe we've got a serial killer.
Bestbuild police formed a task force, including all local forces around Oakland County.
Good pass.
Lieutenant Jack Kalflash from the Birmingham police was at that first meeting.
And that was the start.
Oh, look at that boy.
The child killings. The task force was 50 to 60 men from various departments who volunteered their people to come over, whether they were one of the victim studies or not. They said, let's get this person.
The public is now taking notice.
Your youngsters may have been here, may have seen something. If they may have been approached by a stranger, ask them about it.
We had a number that you could call to the task force.
What the?
We had several people that would write out checks, and we'd go from there.
19 days after she went missing, about 7 miles from Berkeley, on a dead-end street in Franklin Village, a mailman saw something in the ditch.
I saw something red. It came out of the snow. Turned out it was Christine's hand.
When I went to the crime scene, the body was still the side of the road.
She was laying partially covered in snow. Her arms sticking out. Obviously dead.
Now let's do our crimes. In desperate need of direction. Meaning you were the one we made my Walgreens for. Whose pickup in as little as 30 minutes. Yeah! Get 30-minute pickup at Walgreens.com.
To find the right lid every time, try the Rubbermaid Easy Find Lid System.
That's a lie.
Special gift flow challenges the hat models to show off their ease of comparing rates with Progressive's Home Explorer. International head model jumpshot gets personal.
I gotta shoot. Damn, bro. That's a fucked up situation, bro.
Advanced hydration isn't just for kids. Pedialyte helps you hydrate during recovery. GG's mashed potatoes. And Steph's apple pie. Even if your loved ones can't make it for the holidays, their dishes can still make it to the table. It's gonna be great.
Shut.
Your head into your upper thigh. Pour that food on and aim that camera. Right now at Kohl's, it's Goodbye 2020 Hello Savings. And time to spend your Kohl's cash. Bras are $25 and under. Get 40 to 60% off family outerwear, up to 50% off fleece, and save on bed and bath. Plus, get Kohl's cash. Plus, free store pickup. Kohl's. WeatherTech floor liners for mom and dad. Oh, they're puffy. And cup phone for Aunt Barb. Secure her phone in her car. Hey, how did it go?
Shopping's so tough. I'm gonna start yours.
Calm down.
Make your holiday shopping at WeatherTech.com.
We were the poster children for the All-American Way of Life.
She finally was happy. I was so excited for her.
Yes, she just knew he was on something.
There was detachment, there was avoidance. You just never know what evil.
Alright, y'all, it's been real.
American monkey.
Let's do my little upgrade.
iPhone 12 on the 5G America's been waiting for.
This new iPhone Plus price and 5G is incredible.
This is an iPhone 12 on us. Unlimited plans start at just $35. This is 5G from America's most reliable network.
These are a little different this week.
It's different because I have to talk to a computer. Can I turn your screen on? Okay, this is...
We might not be able to solve everything, but we will keep connected to brighter future. There it was. Medical bill for $1,200. I had no idea I'd have to pay that. That's right. It's hard to know exactly what your health insurance is going to cover, so you gotta protect your blind side. Get help with expenses, insurance,